let's see. Bam, bam. Okay, snap. Bam, bam. Remove source. Auto find and activate. There we go. Oh, my spinal column. Okay, what up, Yvonne? All right, let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me get myself together. Where am I here? Copy. There we go. Okay, hold on 1 second. Oh, jeez, Louise. How are you? Profile changes? Yeah, it looks like it. Hold on 1 second. Oh, pause. Let's see. Okay, what up, real brother? Hold on, let's look at Yvonne's profile change. Hold on 1 second. Working on it. Pin. Go channel. Hey, there you go. Y tree. Bam. There you go. What's going on, my friend? Did I pin that? Yep. All right, pin. All right. How's everybody doing? Okay, let us see. Everything's going good. Vitamin B to the 12. I take my vitamins. I take my D, my B. All right. Okay, let's see. Boom. YouTube is killing animation. Holy crap. Oh no. How's it going, Buck? Hey, happy poop. What's up, my brethren? Uh-oh, hold on. What happened? Did I break it? Oh, that's weird. That stops when it pauses. All right, let's see. Happen poop.
If someone shot a gun at your injured arm, it would easily go right through the cast. And even if you added another one, it would still go right through. You see, a real cast is made from soft padding covered in plaster, but it's only about a ½ inch thick, meaning it can crack from just a hard bump. To actually stop a bullet, you would need to layer over 30 casts around your arm. The bullet would tear through, losing energy layer after layer until it finally stopped. But at that size, the cast would be too heavy to even move.
Unless you were a superhuman.
They sliced off part of the ladybug's shell and glued on a clear plastic replacement. You see, when a ladybug flies, it lifts up the outer shells and snaps out tiny wings from underneath, giving them a quick way to escape predators. And when they land again, the wings get folded up. But the process is too fast for the human eye to see, so scientists made part of its shell transparent and set up a slow-motion camera. And for the first time ever, they saw the wings follow secret crease lines as the abdomen pulled them in, folding them back inside the shell. And
for so long, people thought, what up, Catra? Hey, thank you, 250 joules. That just outdone Catra's. Dun, 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 dun. Thank you, Buckeye. What up, Jag? So you just watched it? For so long, we were taught that those things were the veins in the wings, but they're not. They're folding spots. It's absolutely crazy. We'll watch this one more time.
Less than again, the wings get folded up. But the process is too fast for the human eye to see.
This is one of the crazy things about how we learn stuff. Like, they teach us what they think they know, but they don't know. It just made, oh, it looks like the veins in a leaf. But no, it's not. They're actually hinges
So scientists made part of its shell transparent and set up a slow motion camera. And for the first time ever, they saw the wings follow secret crease lines as the abdomen pulled them in, folding them back inside the shell in less than a second.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. This is why I tell you what, I'm so irritated about it. I get so irritated about how we're taught just crap. You know, it's like the teachers want to believe that they're Transformers. Got it. Right. The teachers want to believe and they want to be so confident in what they're teaching, but it's just bullcrap. It's just bullcrap. But this is the thing, a research school, that's what they do. They say, oh, no, how does it actually work? And then the other schools down from the research school, it's like a pyramid scheme. The research school comes up with something, and then they disseminate the information down through the pyramid of non-research colleges and universities and elementary schools and high schools and whatnot. And it's just like, so one person can, if they can convince the people in their research school and a couple of their other students, and remember, they can convince them of anything nowadays, then it goes down and then everybody believes it's true. It comes from one person. Handful of people, let's just say. The owl's wings are designed for stealth. Let's look that up. Look, USA looking like a third world country. I mean, I agree, Grant. Well, it depends where you look, but I agree. How you doing, Harry? Miraculous ladybug. Gonna hit different? Real Transformers are chameleons. If we could do that, I would choose blue for color me. All right, so let's look this up. Let's look owl's wings. Owl's wings. Yeah, these things are so freaking cool, man.
You know, owl wings can glow hot pink under UV light. They have a pigment in them called porphyrin, and a lot of owl species have this in their flight feathers. The really new feathers are super hot pink, but the older the feathers are, the porphyrin breaks down over time, so they don't tend to glow as much.
What
you might see like 2 feathers that don't glow next to 2 that do, and that's just because they dropped 2 feathers to regrow them, and those are gonna glow hot pink because they're brand new, and then the old ones won't. This is a really cool way to actually age a bird, because the older the bird, the less it's gonna glow. No one really knows why owls have this trait. Some other birds, like budgies in Australia, they also have feathers that fluoresce to signal because birds can see in the UV spectrum. But not all birds have this. Owls are really particularly hot pink.
Hot pink. So, when I used to work in photography, back when I was in my late teens, early 20s, 18, 19 years old, I worked at a Ritz camera developing, and people, we had UV film, and so you could use UV film to take pictures in the UV spectrum. And so you would see all kinds it was slide film, so you didn't get negatives and then printed it into positives. It came in as positives. And dude, I would just go around just taking pictures of, like, if we were slow during the day, I would just stick a roll in there and I'd go outside and just, we had cameras like the Nikon F5. It would burn a 36 exposure roll in 8 seconds. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 autofocused frames per second. So yeah, so I would just be like, and it's what they used for like sports photography, to like see somebody, like a car pass, sports cars and whatnot moving real fast. Holding out, watching Game of Thrones. Spots look like fish scales. Scorpions. That's exactly right. Scorpions also do. And we have scorpions here in Georgia. Brown scorpions also. Also aren't birds descended from dinosaurs. That's a theory. That's a theory, right? That's one of the theories. We don't know. We don't know for sure. That's a theory. And this is how people should talk. We don't know for sure, but that's a theory. There's some evidence for that theory. There's also evidence against. But if I want to sell you a textbook, I'm not going to tell you the evidence against. That's so great. Lion's night vision's the same. Full moon looks like a late evening. Full moon looks like a late evening to us. Well, what? Scorpions. Scorpions. Scorpions fluorescing.
What's making this scorpion glow? Let's talk about some weird scorpion adaptations.
This is Chronic Emperor Scorpion.
That's exactly
and when I shine
true.
a black light over him,
his body emits a blue-green glow. This is caused by compounds found in the outer layer of a scorpion's exoskeleton, called the hyaline layer. When ultraviolet rays hit the hyaline layer, that light is absorbed and then re-emitted into a blue-green light on the visible spectrum.
So
no one is quite...
We call them phosphors. Like white LEDs don't exist for real. White LEDs are blue or UV LEDs that have a phosphor, a chemical put on top of them. So the blue light absorbs into the, that's why they look yellow when you look at them. The blue light hits the yellow phosphor, and then the phosphor puts off white light. But we don't actually have a white LED. Lion's night vision. Okay, let's watch this. Someone do Lion's night vision.
Sure, how this adaptation benefits scorpions.
Why gotta be
might
black
just be
light?
an adaptation that once benefited them in their long evolutionary history, but doesn't anymore. Like our wisdom teeth.
We don't know that.
Except glowing in the dark is awesome, and wisdom teeth are annoying.
We have no idea. That's so there's a theory about wisdom teeth that they're not an issue. But you make so, like, since the opium wars and everything, we talked about that the other day, there's a theory that the reason we get wisdom teeth removed is because a lot of kids don't do any drugs or anything. And if you can they call marijuana the gateway drug, but the gateway drug for most kids is dental narcotics. So they get the wisdom teeth ripped out, and that's a major surgery. So they get opiates, and then they're like, wow, and then they're like, well, I can't get any more from my dentist. Hey, well, my buddy's got this, and so that's how it happens. It's not weed that leads people onto harder drugs. It's hard drugs that lead people onto harder drugs. Yes, sir. Magic mushrooms are definitely a fungi. Never had wisdom teeth, never had heartburn, green eyes. Well, most people don't have issues with their wisdom teeth. Remember, in the whole time of human history, until the last 150 years, I don't even think it's that long. I think it's been basically since the 40s we started removing wisdom teeth. What the actual are you talking about? Wisdom teeth. You are a fun guy. We're a bunch of eukaryotes. Will communism ever be built? No, it's currently built now. And it's been built lots of times. It just keeps failing because humans don't. The big problem with communism is liars. You have people that say they're there to be communal, to help everybody, but then they end up wanting more, and then people get less, and it's a big problem. I somehow was born. Oh, you were born without them. Wow, that's cool. My sister studied abroad and got a picture of a fly taken over by a cordyceps. Fungus ostrich. Happening in Canada. What's up, conscious effort, brother? Harshad, hyenas laughing in the forest. Definitely, we'll look it up too. Dental draw. So most people that go on to hard drugs, the first drug they've ever done was not marijuana. The first time they've ever experienced a mood-altering chemical was from dentistry. Yes. I was born without. We should look. Okay, well, hold on. Let's go down the line here. We were looking at Lion's night vision. Yeah. Okay, Lion's night vision superpower.
Lions do most of their hunting cloaked in darkness. This is possible because of their incredible night vision. Lions have a 25-to-1 ratio of rod cells to cone cells. Humans have a ratio of just 4-to-1.
Yep.
Rods are used to detect contrast and movement, and nocturnal animals have an abundance of them, whereas cones discern detail but require a well-lit environment. Lion eyes are also characterized by the tapetum lucidum. This is a reflective layer of cells behind the retina, which acts as a mirror and gives the rod cells a second chance to absorb
light bounces
light
in
waves.
twice.
And when subjected to bright light,
More than
the
twice.
oval pupils of a lion contract to a pinpoint, rather than a slit like in smaller cats.
Yep, that's amazing stuff. Should a heart surgeon be paid the same as someone who works at McDonald's? No. Right, because think about how bad a lot of people at McDonald's do their job because of their pay. And the thing is, it's not the amount you get paid, it's the amount you get paid different from someone else. People like to believe that they're better or more educated than other people, and they want to see that in the result of the pay discrepancy. If everything was equal on paper, the problem is they're keeping out the human element. Human nature is to want to structure in a hierarchy, and money is and pay salary is the way we show that. If everyone was equal, everyone wouldn't be equal because people would naturally be finding ways to show differences between people. Like if you have a bunch of people that all get paid the same, you'll find that a lot of them start to get tattoos and piercings just to offset, because now they can't be separated with socioeconomic or economic means, so they find other ways to set themselves apart. Yeah, so but they don't put that in the same conversation. All right, cordyceps. Cordyceps. Sorry, rewind. What were we rewinding for, brother?
Replacing the ant's flesh with its own, but it doesn't let its victim die.
All parasites devour their hosts. That's how
right.
they grow. They have to take their resources from their host. But Ophiocordyceps, the fungus that infect ants, actually
crazy.
doesn't really.
You have like
take all the
mushrooms
resources
growing
that
off
the
of their
host is
head,
already
and
dead.
they go.
I think it's a little bit.
The
preposterous.
mushrooms grow into their body and then like have like this system, like a nervous system that goes over their brain, and it can steer the ants around. It can tell the ants what they like, things that ants don't eat, they'll eat anyway because the mushroom wants
To
it.
propose that you would only need a single mutation for a fungus that's been co-evolving with ants for millions of years.
No, I'm not pro-communist. I'm not pro anything. I think everybody should stop teaching failed ways to run countries, and instead they should put that brain power into coming up with the reason socialism and communism and capitalism is taught so often is because we already know how to scam them. We already know how to scam. So if you can convince people to do it, we've already got the playbook on how to rob the treasury. So that's why people don't say, hey, let's come up with a new system. People don't do that because that's not profitable. If you can convince people to convert to communism, socialism, or capitalism, there's people that already know the playbook that will benefit from it. That's why you don't have people in schools and colleges saying, let's come up with humanism or something other ism that would they say no, these are the three you get to choose from. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. People need money to do things, having jobs, so everything, basic amenities should be accessible to everyone. They are accessible to everyone. Absolutely. Most people spend outside of their means. Absolutely. And then they vote people in that take more of their money. Like the Mondami thing. He just, there's a lot of people that are really mad at him. I just watched the video actually just before I went live. A lot of his voters, because he said we're going to tax the rich, and he just lied to everybody and he got voted in. And I was like, no, we're going to tax everybody. Because we're all rich. If you make $35,000 on the planet a year on the planet Earth, you're in the top 1%. So he just because he says the words rich, people think, yeah, well, I'm not rich, but you are. You are rich. I think Kubrick's dudes are more important than heart surgeons. Open topic, ma'am. Politics reset. Okay, yeah. I want a new Florida government and give all the administrative power to the poor. I think it would be good. I think it would be good to do. At least to trial run to run government like we run the legal system in this aspect where we have jury duty, where everybody gets like a month that they have to serve and they get paid a certain amount, because then you can't have 50 years to set up scams and buddies that you know in other countries and other states that will all change laws to go along with an overarching scam or ideology, and then rotting everything out. You should be able to be like, no, we're going to do it like this. And then if you can convince the people to vote for that over that, like, you can't just, like, we would have to figure it out. But I think it would be better to have more people involved in the decision making, not less. And the problem with communism and socialism is you get less people that get involved with what changes are made. It's people that convinced other people to let them have the power. I can get an app up in 15 minutes to replace Congress. Right. Capitalism is the way. Right. So the thing is about capitalism is you can have socialism and communism in capitalism. Actually, you need it. You can't have socialism without communism, because how do you fund it originally? Like, if I took 1,000 of you and I put you on an island and said, start a socialist commune, you'd be like, well, where are we going to get the stuff? And no one says that. Everybody thinks, well, we can convert, because they know they can rob you if they can convince you to convert to another system, because they already know the playbook. Yeah, and that's a problem. What's up, Ben? Random lottery. Yeah, absolutely. Fun fact, asking someone if you can kick it is only okay when they're not holding a baby. That's freaking hilarious. Hey, can you set that? You want to kick it? All right, sorry. All right, what were we talking about here? Somebody brought something else up. Heart surgeons, poop, dental drugs. Hyenas laughing. Oh, let's listen to this first. Let's finish this up.
To all of a sudden jump into mammals. Sure, there are billions of humans on the planet, but there are thousands and thousands and thousands of insects for every human.
Yeah.
So if they already have all these hosts available, why would Ophiocordyceps jump into a human all of a sudden? So I think it's important to know as we're going forth that cordyceps cannot infect people, period.
Theoretically, this is a problem. We've never seen it, but does it mean it can't happen? And this is a problem. People are like, period, because I know. How do you know? Well, it's never happened yet, but right, tax billionaires 90%, then they leave, right? And that's a big problem. Then they leave. Like, that's what's going on in it's better to ask the billionaires for their money rather than tax them. Like, Trump has just asked Michael Dell for money, and Michael Dell just said, here's $6.8 billion to give to the American people to put into Trump accounts, right? Rather than Mandami's like, no, we're going to take your money, because you forget about the human aspect of it. These people made this money, and then you have people saying, we deserve your money. And some people says, can I have some of your money? And the people ask nicely, get it. It's so crazy. Global government, yeah, that's a bad idea. I think cordyceps could if we really want it to happen. Listen, we can do genetic engineering, CRISPR stuff. We could figure out what's keeping cordyceps from breaking through into the human genome, and then, or the part of their genome that's keeping them from breaking into the human biome. And then, I'm sure we can make that happen. They would probably don't need to, right. Or they would. If they needed to, they would. However, I would not put it past the evil mastermind. Exactly. You're going to put a lab together and force it. How many poor people made job games? Right. Leave where? What do you mean? They are now 7% of all the billionaires in New York left to Florida. And then the thing is, if you keep pushing them, you think poor people are going to let? No, they're the ones that fund the government. The top 1% in California pay 40% of the taxes already. So and they're leaving. Like, who's about to leave now? April. Mark Zuckerberg is leaving California and taking Meta and Facebook to Florida because of the taxes. And he helped the taxes get set up. He helped these people get elected. So they just use people for what they can get, and then they move. And then if somebody says, tax the billionaires 90%, those billionaires are going to take 60% of their wealth, and they're going to get people elected that won't do that, right? And people don't understand that. Yeah, you can say that and you can get elected on that, but then you're like, well, no, they said no, right? They said no. They said, we're not going to give you any more money to run if you take it away. Just take billions of wealth like they took the gold back in the day. That's what they'd have to do. Maybe stop wasting money instead of demanding more taxes. Right, that's the big thing. Stop spending so much. So here's the thing. Florida is 3 times the size of New York. 3 times. And they spend $1 billion less a year in budget. They spend $1 billion less on that many people, on 3 times as many people. So they're definitely spending it wrong. What about the flat tax rate? So I think flat tax would be the best idea. Absolutely. And then have companies that aren't getting ripped off completely so that they would hire more people. Because remember, even if AI takes everybody's jobs, do you know how much that costs the companies? It's not free. It costs hundreds of millions of dollars a year to run a data center in power. So even if you replace somebody that gets $60,000 a year with $20,000 a year in processing power, it would drop all the prices of everything. So then people would do it for less. And then if the people do it for less money, they would replace the AI. There's going to be a cutoff where the amount of it costs to run AI stifles growth, economic expansion in the companies. So then they're going to be like, never mind, we're going to hire people back that'll work for less. Make a new public trust, one that actually works. I mean, shit goes to Israel. Yep, right. So that right? What do we do? China would literally not tax them, just have them leave the U.S. Right. Yeah, they'll just leave. They can. Most of the damn near trillionaires, except for Elon Musk, everything they do is online. They can do that from anywhere on the planet. Oh my God. We're all sinners. We judge others on our sins we are not comfortable with, and comfortable committing sins we like. That's definitely true. I mean, U.S. sucks about taxing. Agreed. Right. But we always vote in people that say they're going to raise our taxes. Like they keep saying that their plan is to raise taxes on a class. But then they always end up doing it on everybody. They come in, they say, we're going to tax the wealthy leave. And then they say, well, we still got to tax you guys then because we can't, it's by the law, we have to balance the budget. So then it just falls back down by law, but no one knows the law. They just know what they hear on Fox and CNN and stuff. Stop wasting money. Yes, exactly. Stop wasting money. Jimmy Neutron, save us from the libtards. What's up, Palad? How about not sending 40 mil a week to Afghanistan? Agreed. And listen, I'm going to tell you something about that. I don't know, Katra. I read all your comments. I didn't see if it popped up. This is what we should do. We should pick a year, like say 2027, and we tell everybody that we give money to, you're not getting any money at all during 2027. During 2027, you got to audit all your books and say what you've done with all your money. You'll start getting it back in 2028, but that 2027, everything's going into fixing America. And if we need to make new houses for migrants, and figure out the illegal migration and get that all sorted. We do all that in a year and with all the money that we would send everywhere. Then we turn the tap back on in 2027 or whatever, 2028. But something like that could work. I think the issue is wealthy aren't paying enough taxes. If they're managing money responsibly, the more money will solve the issue. The thing is, the government wants to be rich. The politicians want to be rich. So they set up side companies and then they say, we'll use this nonprofit to solve the problem we just created. And then they get rich. So when they get out of office, they're rich and wealthy. Look, what politician do you know? Try to find one that went broke after leaving office. YouTube censors certain words and phrases. Yes, without a doubt. Yeah, it's just not mine. It's YouTube in general. But they shouldn't impose taxes on the rich, rather the ones who improve the country. Right? They're the ones that hire people. They're the ones that create jobs. If you tell somebody that any money over $2 million a year gets taxed, they'll work until they get $2 million. Then they'll play golf the rest of the year, and the next year they'll make $2 million. Remember, they've got all this extra money. They wouldn't make it if they couldn't keep it. People don't understand or even think past that because so many people are so passionate about it. The Army Corps of Engineers is a plan. Bet your freedom on it. Use a whiteboard. Much more helpful than drawing on air. I definitely do that. My apologies. Do you think BLM should have their own battalion in the U.S. Military? And do you think Obama should be Supreme Chancellor of the High Court? Yes, let's do that. Let's do that. If we want to freaking rob the freaking treasury, what should the tax rate be then? Okay, so one very good idea came up about 20 years ago, 9%. If everybody paid 9% and there was a 9% sales tax, everything else you get to keep, nobody would have, but then here's the problem. We think everybody's not an addict, not addicted to cocaine or meth or fentanyl or freaking weed or alcohol. You've got a lot of people with a lot of problems. We should find a way to make companies be able to get rich on helping people, because what they're doing now is we've given $15 billion in the past few years to California to help homelessness, and it just got worse. So they're just stealing the money. There's this one guy that's in jail now. He got $24 million a year to feed, I think it was 500 homeless people. And what he did is he bought a pallet of ramen noodles for like $2,000. And he bought a microwave and one of those bottled water 5-gallon water dispensers, what do they call, water coolers, so that they could fill up their ramen noodles and then microwave them, and pocketed all the rest of the money. The thing is, you shouldn't get paid for what you say you're going to do. You should get paid for what you've done. For every person that can go and be like, yes, John helped me get off the streets, get off of drugs, blah, blah, then now you get $40,000 for that person. It should be on results, not on dreams. You think, yeah, Obama should be the Supreme Chancellor of the Bear taxes bring tax civilization to white. They started 1960. Highest tax rate was 90%. What do you think about immigrants? I think immigrants are great. I think absolutely, but I also am not dumb enough to know that we absolutely have thousands of companies and dozens of countries that are sending people here to use as labor, and then we have dozens of cartels sending people across too. And the problem is trying to help people by opening your door to them and not knowing who's coming in at all. And now we've got all these people here. People are getting hurt and dying all around. If that never happened, this wouldn't be happening. So you have to stop it, reset it, and then do something more sensible in the future. But absolutely, I think people should absolutely be able to migrate the globe, but it can't be completely at the expense of others. It can't be just like, hey, everybody get here no matter what you want, because the problem is the money that we give out. Okay, let's talk about Los Angeles real quick. Los Angeles right now has the lowest rent it's had in 24 years because there was I think it was 700,000 people, homes that non-citizens had. They left and went back to their own countries. They weren't forced out by ICE. They self-deported. So now you have all these homes, hundreds of thousands of homes that are available on the market now. So now people that are on the streets because they've got are living in their car because they can't afford rent. Now rent has dropped. So it's helped people. And the people that could already afford the house can afford a house somewhere else. And they know they can. They just wanted to get a bunch of money out of America and go live like a king in whatever country they wanted to. All this talk is feudal. Politicians do not care. I agree. Right. But it's fun to talk about, and brainstorm. I saw you earlier on Friendly's Live. In Friendly's Live, you did? Who, me? Who? Oh, and me. I don't think it was me. Maybe it was. The public doesn't know how positively immigrants affect the... No, they do. Absolutely. And they always have. That's why they dropped the border, because it was such a positive thing for America. Then they said, hey, well, more's got to be better, right? And then they said, oh, oops, now everybody's taking advantage of us. So people that don't want that, they don't even want to be here. They want to get wealth and then leave again. And and then they don't care who they hurt while they're here because they're not here legally. So their fingerprints haven't been taken. So if somebody commits a crime, we're like, we don't know who this is. And that, so it's like it became a problem. Yes, you have to be intelligent about it. I agree. The whole country knows our government is covering up the SA files and can't do anything. Do you think anything will ever be fixed? So this is the way it works. you have a big group of people that are very, very powerful that do very evil things. They know, the smart ones set up when this date would happen and when everything got exposed, who would take the fall. So that you're going to see a handful of people take the fall for the whole thing. So there's probably like 1,000 people that should be hung, but probably like a dozen will. And then something else will happen and we'll move on. I want to live in the woods, live off the land, not give a damn what the government said. Agreed. Entire country voted for mass deportation. Right, everybody did. Right, because it makes sense. It's just the problem is the kids that are still in school are still getting the propaganda that was created during the Obama administration. So that's pushed it out. So it's baked into their brains that it's good, and they never heard the negative sides. They only heard, oh, it's just the greatest thing ever. Everybody's going to be like orgasmically great because of this. They don't talk about all the negative stuff. Right? It's just like, yes, you can cook your food with fire. You can also burn your house down with it so you don't turn the temperature up too high. And we turn the temperature up too high. That's illegal. What'd you say? I want to live yeah, that's illegal. That's right. Undesirables. Abraham Lincoln. Back now. Yes, the undesirables. Right. Actual immigration it's actual immigrants who assimilate and learn English. Right, exactly. They prove that they want to be part of the society. America created this kick-ass thing, and do you want to be part of it or do you want to rob us? You know, and that's the thing is the ones that want to be part of it are getting mixed up with the ones that don't want to be a part of it. They just want to get here. You have to understand that as the population went up, the amount of people that sell street drugs from the cartels also came over. They needed to bring more foot soldiers over to try to take over more blocks and sell more of their drugs and kill the other mobs that are here, other gangs that are here to take over more. That stuff still exists. There's still Bloods and Crips and there's still Mexican mafia and there's still Italian mafia. That stuff all still exists. So people don't think about that they're like, okay, we can get a bunch of money off these people because now you have a bunch of people that have the access to get free money from the government. Well, how do you turn that into profit for you? You bring over products and you take that. I know you're getting $20,000 from the American government, so here's some blow, here's some meth, here's some whatever, and you get them addicted on drugs, and then you can drain that and then bring that out of the country. Yeah, it's a big problem. I went to the doctor the other day after waiting 4 months, or like 200 illegals away, and they made me leave. Yes, legally. They need to be here legally. Yes, it's that easily. They're here and they're queer. Not the entire country voted for deportations because not the entire country voted. Many too young. You get what he was saying. Of the people who voted, yeah, it was like 79%. And the thing is, there's like we just found, it's rough. Yogi, how do you know they are all illegal? I see your point, but some of them are here legally. The problem is the ones that are here legally might get caught up, but that's because they also voted to allow the border to be dropped. And it's bound to happen. It's like when you have a party at your house. You know you're not supposed to be doing it, and you're allowed to be in your house. But your parents said no party, and then you allowed 40 people to come in, and they called people that you don't know that come in. And this is the same thing. A bunch of people came that wasn't expected to come, and people that wanted to come over and steal your parents' jewelry and stuff also came in. And it's a problem. So what do? You kick everybody out that's not supposed to be there, that doesn't have a deed or the parents of the house, and then you start over. I get it. Okay. They were legal because they didn't speak English. No, but it's hilarious. You remember Captain Phillips, the Somali pirate? I'm the captain now. I know English is a requirement for immigration. They can't speak English. The problem is that people are dying on the roads, and you don't see it on the news. But if you look up the stats, there's dozens and dozens of people in every main sanctuary state that are dying on the roads from people that are driving with either fake licenses or licenses that were given to them in areas that they couldn't even pass the test on. They go in, they open their shirt up, and there's a they wear a vest that holds a phone, and they're wearing earbuds, and someone is looking at the screen while they're taking their driver's test. I'm talking about the one on the computer where you have to say this is a stop sign, this is a yield sign, and whatnot. So it's a big scam. You can buy the vests, companies will help you do it, and you have people that are helping people do that. So this is all everything's been wackadoodled. I've called the ICE hotline, got a few places shut down. Yeah, I think a lot more people do that than people understand. A lot of people on the internet don't want to be bullied, but they also want their kids to be safe. Have you ever seen? Yeah, yes, I've gotten that a few times. They said I look like if XQC and Moist Critical had a baby. How are you, Seth? Socrates did not like democracy. Save Somalia. Brother, you know this is okay purpose. Puppet Pastors hard at work. Oh, sure. Yeah. This is why my main point is always to tell you guys not to destroy relationships, friendships, familial family relationships over politics, because it's people that don't even know you exist, that don't care that you exist, that just say they do for 15 seconds a day on the internet so they can do what they want. Just because someone isn't speaking English doesn't mean they don't speak English. Sure, it means they're comfortable in another language. Right? Come on, Katra. Come on. You know the point. You know the point. The point is there's people that don't give a crap either way, and they're going to do whatever they want because that's what they want to do, and they don't care who gets hurt. Politics reset. Hold on, we still got a little bit more time to go. They should be sued out the ass, but in America, it has to jump through hoops and turn us down. So they are, and that's why the lawyers push this so much, because they're the ones who win. The government needs lawyers to sue, and the immigrants need lawyers to sue, and the immigrants that can't afford lawyers get lawyers for free. So the lawyers win, even though the lawyers will tell you, yeah, they're gone, they're out of here, but I'm going to make like 10 grand on each one. So if you can have thousands of people that you do, then you're going to make tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yeah, and they know it. 200 people not speaking English is a root, not a consequence. But maybe they're uncomfortable. That's the problem is discomfort creates growth. And people don't understand that. They think everybody should just be comfortable. No, discomfort brings change. But there's levels to this stuff. Now, how should you approach Turkey? Brother, that's a good question. Honestly, I don't really know. I don't really know. It's extremely rude to speak a foreign language in someone else's country. The problem isn't that they speak a foreign language. The problem is they're telling you to learn the foreign language. Like you let us in here. I'm not changing because I'm not an American citizen and I don't want to be. So you've got to learn what I'm saying. It's the same thing with the pronouns thing. They weren't doing it gently. They weren't saying, "Hey, I'm changing my pronouns and I understand it's going to be hard for you." They were saying, "No, you'll learn it because this is the way it is now." And that's a problem. You're turning off too many people. Yeah, and the public defenders get paid. Yes, absolutely. The public defenders get paid. And I agree with that too. Your brain does grow if you learn other languages. Yeah, the public defenders get paid though. They get paid per case. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, yes, and absolutely. Yeah, everybody should try to learn multiple languages. Listen, I'm not saying there's a positive and a negative. There's a sunshine, a shiny spot and a dark spot on every topic. The problem is everybody just said how great things will be, but they didn't say, well, we also have to prepare for what might happen. Because right before they did that, they did the whole defund the police thing. So then there wasn't even enough police to deal with it when bad people came in. But whatever, this is a big experiment and people are getting rich, Republican and Democrat. They're getting rich no matter what we do because and that's why I'm saying don't destroy relationships over politics because it's fake. That too pisses me off. Why do we learn from second world languages? They should learn from us. Spanish would be appealing for the sake of proximity. I agree. No, I agree. So, and I want to learn Chinese, Japanese, and Spanish. I don't really care about French. Maybe if I get to that point, I'd learn it, but I want to learn it. So when I go there, I can speak to people in their language and I can ask them in their language, show me your culture, not speak English, dummy. Oh, we're in Japan. No, I don't care. I speak English. I'm obviously more important than you because I don't care how you feel. Yeah, it's crazy. We went to the moon. They played around with tacos. Maybe they should learn English so we can worry about moon stuff, the taco language. Have you ever been called yo, bro, ayo in a demeaning way? Yeah, sure, absolutely. If everyone should speak another language, then migrants should learn English. Right. There you go. Remix. Exactly. There you go. Right. Why don't they learn English to help expand their minds? Because they don't want to. They're only here. Most people that have this issue know that they want to go back home. They want to go back where their family roots is from. And it's hard for people to believe that people will lie and say, oh, I had a rough time back home. We all have rough times. You're making my time more rough. And then, so they need to be here just because that? No, the thing is we don't have any proof of anything. And people are liars. How many people do you think lie to benefit financially? And if they can, they do. The eagle or my dollar represents does not matter if you're right wing or left wing. It's all controlled by the same brain. That's right, my friend. That's right. Right wing, left wing, same bird. Right. Move to another country, you learn their language. Right. Exactly. And listen, it just shows you bad people. They care more about themselves than they care about you. They don't care about you at all. They're telling you change for me rather than let's change together slowly so it's not too uncomfortable. Yeah. People like to cause other people discomfort. That's not healthy. Do you think Europe will have a unified army? They're going to have one. At least over the next 3 years, they're going to have one. They're going to. So we cut off the tap to a lot of them, and Trump said he's going to dissolve the UN if they don't start they're like all other countries only put 2% of what they make and earn into their militaries. He said make it 4%, so just double what you pay. And they were like, no. And then he was like, yes. And they were like, okay, we'll do that. And so now he's like, we'll keep the UN. We have to straighten it up because the UN has stopped 0 wars where Trump has stopped 8, and the UN's been around for years and years, for what, 40, 50 years. I want your quality of life. I ignore your laws. I learn my language. Right. Yeah. It's bullying. It's not that difficult. It's bullying. These people, I don't care. I don't care if when they're bullies. They're telling me no. They push you around in your own home and then say that they deserve everything from you. No, ask. Say, hey, I'm out of a bad situation. Can you help me? Yes. How can I help you? Not this is what you're going to do and like it. No, it doesn't work that way. People also don't understand the West is unique and other societies do not share morals or values. They think free speech is trouble. Yes. You displace their culture enough to lose it. Yeah, right. Yeah, and this stuff isn't taught in schools because they want you to go with the flow. And it doesn't work. And it's a really a disservice to our young folk here. They really don't understand what they're setting up because they're not told. They're not told to examine how their choices affect the future. It's about now. Because anxiety makes people do what you tell them. Because people just want the anxiety to stop. So then they'll tell you, hey, I know the world's going to end because you're driving gas cars. But if you do this, it'll stop. And then they're like, okay, here, just whatever, please, just don't let the earth blow up. Hey, Farm Life, brother. Have you ever been to 99-cent store to smell potent the products? Yes, dollar stores. Yes, absolutely. Yes, dude. Yes, you can absolutely smell the difference when you go into a dollar store. Absolutely. Yeah, everything's gonna be fine. The problem is you have people that they don't know that they can see the future. They've never tried. They just think we've got to fix it now. And anxiety is a horrible thing to live in, but they create it. And then once you realize that we're ruled by a bunch of liars, and you learn to find the truth in things, and you don't take sides, and you figure out, okay, I can make my own way forward. I don't need them. If they say the world's going to end unless I vote, Do you really think the ultra wealthy in the world would let the world blow up just because we didn't vote for them? No, absolutely not. They're going to do it, and we wouldn't even know about it. There could probably be asteroids headed towards Earth, and they're not going to say vote for me. Well, somebody will say vote for me, but they're going to take care of it and do what they can do and then charge the government for it. They're not, yeah, it's not, they like you to think you have more power. And then the problem with power is it corrupts. And then you have bullies. That's a weird way to talk about people. People have power, government, and hopefully will always be on their mercy. And that's the thing, that we've started to look at our servants, our public servants. We look at them as kings and queens. It's the opposite. They don't deserve to be rich because they got voted in, and we keep making them rich and famous. And they don't care. They know that. They're like, I'm a moron, and you guys believe this? I'm going to rob this place and enjoy it. Yeah, they don't care if they don't get elected again. They're already they already did it. I think global warming was here up for us. Yes. As it was before. Volcano. Sure. Volcanoes, a lot of things that we've known since the 1860s that temperature was going up. And listen, more people are alive on Earth now than were back then. Human life flourishes. Our plants bloom. More carbon dioxide, more plants. We are lied to and told that the CO2 is going to kill us all, but it's not. More plants will bloom, we'll make more food, and there'll be more babies and more families and more human life is flourishing now. And the doom and gloomers, if they can keep you anxious enough and sell you a product to save the world, that's what they do. It's salesmanship. I'm talking about relating to the economy of politics and ethics. Oh, gotcha. What up, Julio? Global warming is a natural cycle. Yes, right. But they don't teach us about the history. They say what's going on now, and they say theoretically, the experts that have been paid off say we're all going to die. But if you keep giving us money and paying an extra $2 a gallon for gas, then when we don't die, they'll be like, yes, because we intervened. And they're just lying. It's just sales. The ice caps are actually rare. They are rare. Poles are definitely shifting. Yes. You talking about the magnetic poles, I'm guessing. Magnetic poles shifting. Let's find a video.
The idea of the pole shifts.
Me.
The magnetic pole
I
shifted
think I
and the
should be
Earth did like a
president. I'm
90-degree
thinking about it,
tilt.
brother, honestly.
See, now a lot of these people are respected.
No. What do you think the Dutch government is using unrealized taxes? Yeah, that's crazy. That's absolute insanity. They're gonna. So this is what happens. You get people that want to take over your country, that move into your country, that promote things like this. Then your country empties out of all the wealthy people. They can move the people from their other country, and they've just taken over your country. And then they'll drop all that crap. It's only short-term stuff to clear out the population because they make it unlivable. And then they, because remember, the laws aren't forever. They're only till they're changed. So they make laws like that. They get rid of everybody. They move in a bunch of people from their own countries or whatever, or their people that have the same ideologies, and then they change everything. The same thing with the defund the police. They only defunded the police to get done what they needed to get done. And I'm like, oops, that was a bad idea. Then they hired their own people. And they got more money for it because they said, look, having this little police did this much damage. So instead of $10 million, we need $50 million. Yeah, it's all a scam. The ice caps on Mars are melting. I guess global warming did that too. Yeah, damn experts, magnetic poles. Man, so respectfully, I haven't seen the beach go back almost 2 inches. I've seen the beach. Okay. No, I'm sure. I absolutely. I mean, there's all kinds of things. But what do you think's the purpose for that? What do you think's the cause for that? Please don't joke about it. Nah, brother. You got. It's not man-made. It's not caused from humans. You're just told that it is. If you look back, since we started taking temperatures in like the 1500s, maybe it was the 1400s. We've had these cycles. So people take the knowledge of the cycles of global heating and cooling, and they say that you caused it so that you'll pay for it. Trust me, if it was a problem, they wouldn't ask our permission. Imagine buying Pokemon cards for $59 and someone sells one for $500. The Dutch will say you made unrealized profit. Not only that, imagine buying stock for $3 and then the stock goes up to $300 but you didn't sell the stock yet. So you might pay tax on that, and then the next day after you paid the tax, it drops to $0. So you've never actually made that money, but they're taking it from you. Yeah, it's dumb. What up, Naruto? Do you know how to fix the door seal because my grandma's front driver's side door is hanging off? You gotta push it in, brother. Yeah, there's a groove that the back of the seal goes into, and so you have to just set it back up. Or there's a sliver of metal, of sheet metal, that it will push up. It'll pinch. There's a spring, a pinch point that'll slide onto it. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Since when did ice begin to attract to a magnet? Yes, no, it's paramagnetic, right? Which means it's pushed away from the magnetic poles. But it depends. We can look into it, right? Right, it's paramagnetic, which means that you can push water with magnets. The problem is that's pure water. The ice caps aren't necessarily just pure water. There may be a lot of iron in them that will cause it to be attracted. And this is what I'm saying. This is what they don't teach people. They only teach them what they want them to know, not about how, like, why would water be pure water is, but it's not pure water. Right. Okay, hold on. Let's watch this. Sorry.
The idea of the pole shifts.
Magnetic poles.
The magnetic pole shifted and the Earth did like a 90-degree tilt.
See, now a lot of these people that are speculating don't really even seem to understand the difference between the magnetic pole and the geographic pole.
Right.
The geographic
What's up,
pole
Barbara?
is the Earth's axis of rotation, right? The magnetic pole doesn't necessarily exactly coincide. In fact, it migrates. It doesn't coincide with the axis, the geographic pole, which is the axis of rotation. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
Now, I believe.
So the problem is you have the rotational axis, and because the ice isn't where that is, you have people that don't think, that say, oh, well, it must have been here and then moved here, because no, they're wrong. They're just wrong about it, but they're wrong and loud.
You know, I've looked deeply into that when I was first studying catastrophism, looking at the work of Velikovsky and Charles Hapgood and others. Charles Hapgood saw the catastrophic history of the Earth. He was trying to come up with an explanation. He came up with a relatively sophisticated model of crustal shift, not the whole mass of the planet.
Right,
because
just the crust. The crust is floating on mantle.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Earth crust displacement was his theory.
Right.
So it becomes disconnected from like the mantle?
Yes.
The asthenosphere, the plasticky kind of connection. You can think of the Earth as like the crust as being like the skin on an apple. That's like a relative thickness of it, right? But beneath that, we have varying degrees of like plasticity and connection. So it's like the tectonic plates are sliding around on what is it, the asthenosphere that has this plasticky kind of properties to it, and Hapgood proposed that could have been disconnected and shifted
you're not talking to me.
violently
Gotcha.
or suddenly, and then
He
proposed that actually before continental drift
plus all the
was
poop
accepted
being
by
dumped in the air,
mainstream
I need to fuel
geophysics
the
and
life global warming so we
geology.
can get money.
Yeah. But of course, then when continental drift came along, this was a much slower process, where Hapgood was envisioning something much faster.
Envisioning.
Not sure I'm 100% correct, but
It's
I'm pretty sure
storytelling.
that Hapgood abandoned that idea eventually. He didn't abandon the idea of catastrophism.
Right. So you have people that come up with theories, then everybody starts believing the theory, and then often they say, no, I was wrong. But so many people told other people that it was the truth. And so that's how these things get mixed up. And now that we have the internet, one person can lie convincingly, and a lot of people see that and share that as the truth. But then they say, "Oh, never mind, that's completely wrong. I was holding the magnet upside down." But they don't go back and say, "Oh, you remember that thing I told you yesterday? It was wrong." People don't do that, and so it's a big problem. And the thing is, so I see what Google will say: climate warming and cooling cycles. Okay, so you see this? It goes up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down and up and down. So they just, when it gets really low, they say, oh, we've got sensor data that says you're all driving too much. Stop driving. And then it goes up, it warms up. And then they say, oh my God, you guys, there's going to be another ice age unless you start voting for my best friend. And then it goes down. It's like, you see? Yeah. And it's all anxiety because people that know the history and how it works use it for their own interests, but they're only telling part truths. Yes, it's going to cool, but then it's going to get warm again. Then it's going to cool again. And they just use it as anxiety for power. Poo dumped in the ocean. What? Hold on, what? Poo dumped in the ocean is good. Nutrition cycle, right? Yep. Guy, give me money. If a guy gives me money, I will say global warming, right? The diameter of the Earth is 128,000 kilometers. Yeah, 12,800. I was about to say. I thought it was 25,000. Hold on, what? Maybe it's 25,000 miles. Did you say diameter? Oh, okay. I was thinking of circumference. Hold on. Circumference of the Earth. Yeah, 25,000 miles is the circumference. Diameter. Is 7,000 miles, which is 12,000. Yeah, you're right. 12,742, right? Yeah, close enough. 12,000. I believe we need to clean the rivers and waterways big time. I agree. The magnetic crust of the Atlantic clearly tells us the Earth poles flip every 3,600 years. And they're going to use that, and they're going to say, we caused the problem, and then they're going to say, vote for me, and I'll solve it, and then you'll vote for them, and they'll solve it by not doing anything but getting rich, and then selling a bunch of Save the Planet t-shirts and stuff like that, selling merchandise on how to save the planet, like the Brigade of River Cleaners going through it. So my father used to... so do you think the Islamist movement is spreading across Europe? All negative consequences. The problem is with every religion, you have good people and bad people. You have people that know that they can get power using a religious movement, but they're not actually those. They don't follow the tenets of those religions, so they just get power that way. And that's the problem. Liars are the problem. They convince people, look, I'm good. I follow Allah. I follow God, Vishnu, any of that. Yeah, it's the same thing. The problem isn't religion. It's bad people is the problem. Yeah, but yeah, absolutely. If they want the worst for you, it's bad. Make the prisoners get off their ass, put some waders on, go pool wash car. Okay, so my father, I do. I've read the hadiths. I've read the Quran. I've read, yes, I've a lot of my moderators are from Greece, from Saudi Arabia, Morocco. Yeah, I talk about it all the time. I learned a lot about what before I became a Christian. But I do. It's mean temperature that you're right. It's mean temperature that you're rising, sir. Aren't seeing constant increased peaks on the graph to show it's cycle. Right. It's cyclical. So people that know that it's cyclical, they can see the future. So they know it's going to warm another 2 degrees. And they'll tell you, if it warms another 2 degrees, we're all going to die. And then you're like, oh my goodness, it went up 2 degrees. And they're going to be like, good thing you spent $17 trillion because now we fixed it. See, it's cooling again. They're using the data to lie to people to get wealthy off of it. If none of us did anything, everything would be fine. The earth reacts to the changes. The more carbon dioxide and methane, the more plants grow and eat that. You know, and then you see people that want to artificially cause it by cutting down trees and stuff. But yeah, these people are liars. They're liars. You have to always look. You have to always look at the historical data. And the thing is, when they tell you their news clips, it's only just from the past like 50 to 80 years. Because then they can, whatever they need to show you to prove their lie. Guy, cow make global warming by releasing nitrogen. I can't believe methane, but statement from someone. Yes. What up, Sonia? If someone give me $18 billion, I'll fix stupidity around the globe. Would you rent an apartment on the moon? No, I definitely would not. I definitely wouldn't. But yeah, everybody's going to be fine. There's no need for the anxiety, but they make so much money. If you look how the government solves problems is they spend money. So that means that somebody makes money. They're not paying God money to stop warming the earth. That's not how it works. They're paying companies to do this. Who owns the companies? What did they actually do? Not much. They're storing the money. These people got rich, which means they didn't spend the money to solve the problem. It went from the government's bank accounts into their bank accounts. Do you understand? It transferred the money because the people said words. So it didn't go into like we had to build all this other stuff. People get rich off of this, which means they're either fixing the problem and overcharging for it because they didn't need that much money to solve the problem. Yeah, it's all just lip service. No, sir, I'm saying the peaks are also rising every cycle. Always gonna be worried about the cycle doesn't happen. Right. So then you have to zoom out. Right. So, warmest temperature ever recorded on Earth. And here's a problem. Okay, so they'll show you from the centers where they record the data from, so they can say look, in Death Valley it's 134 degrees. What are you guys doing driving your cars? You're destroying. So they lie about where the information comes from and they change it, because when it starts cooling in one area they'll say, oh, now look over in Norway, they're jumbling with the numbers. If you actually see if you actually go and look at an aggregation of the data, the world data, it's all the same. Some countries it's warmer for a few years, then some countries it's cooler for a few years, but the overall temperature has stayed the same. So because weather is energy, and the energy can't be created or destroyed. It just shifts around. And the scientists know this, so they know what they can tell you to scare you to get money from you or get votes or whatever. I forgot. Yeah, methane, brother. Richard, pull back the curtain, please. Go to governmentcontracts.gov. We're not getting to that right now, brother. The peak's going to happen regardless of what we do. Right. Because listen, this is how you know it's a scam. Methane is like 10 times more potent of a greenhouse gas than carbon dioxide. And they only talk about carbon dioxide when it's the thing we can easily deal with. We waste carbon dioxide. We make dry ice with carbon dioxide by blasting. You know how to make dry ice? Watch this. Dry ice creation. You take a bag, you open up a tank of dry ice.
And to do that, I need a tank filled with CO2.
Carbon dioxide, the world's deadliest gas.
In the tank, all the CO2 is a liquid.
And if it was that dangerous, that would be illegal. That would be illegal.
Turns back into a gas. A small amount of it, though, will also turn into solid CO2, also known as dry ice. However, just opening it like this isn't super efficient because most of it's turning into a gas.
Because remember, to
get more of it as a solid.
They didn't create carbon dioxide. They converted things into carbon dioxide, and the world will just convert it back. Hold on, watch.
It needs to be trapped in something.
Then it's going to fail,
and I bought this dry ice maker.
Only best to get over it. Right.
It's basically just a denim sock, and all I need to do is attach it to the tank.
Great guy. So he puts a sock on it.
Now when I open it,
that's it.
Most of it stays inside.
And then so that's it. He's just blasting out the world-destroying carbon dioxide. This would not be legal. They know it's not dangerous.
It's a big solid chunk, though, and to get it out, I just need to carefully break it apart.
Yeah, I did. What up, Beta Big? What's your favorite video game? Galaga's a great game, yeah. It's a great game. Right, he would be in jail right now, you know? Yeah, it's not. They would because they know. Listen, all of our sodas, Coca-Cola, Fanta, that all uses carbon dioxide to make it sparkly. If it was killing the planet, they would say you all have to stop using it. Frogger is a dope. Oh yeah, Frogger's dope. Yeah, Frogger's a dope game. I broke a rib laughing. Yeah. It's amazing. Yeah, and this is a thing people don't understand too. You mentioned solar cycles, right? So like as the sun rotates and the earth rotates over hundreds of years, the angles that these change. And remember, we're not in a perfectly circular orbit around the sun. We get a little bit farther and a little bit closer. For 100 years, we're going to be a few degrees warmer. And then for 100 years, we're going to be a few degrees cooler. And this is all free information. But when they say it to you with anxiety in their voice, people start thinking, oh no. And remember, it's called a theory because they haven't proved it. Dude just trying to argue. Yeah, it happens a lot. I think he's being polite. So and I understand the whole world has been telling people this. Absolutely. Okay, look, let's say, what did I want to say? World heating and cooling over the past 200 years. Okay. Over the past 200 years, Earth has experienced rapid, unprecedented warming with surface temperatures rising 1.8 Celsius since the late 1800s. The 10 warmest years on records have all happened in the past 10 years. And it says here, look, by human-induced greenhouse gas emissions. The problem is that's not proven. That's a theory because we have no idea what other people are doing. We've got no idea. Like there's countries like North Korea and China. We've got no idea what they're putting off. We got no clue. So we can try to say, yeah, we won't do that, but then they'll just do it more than we do. So it's like, so the problem is we're all broke now because we have to buy super expensive energy and they've got it super cheap just because we believed it. The thing is, it's just because we're getting warmer. Is that bad? Is it bad? Is it bad? Is it definitely negative? And what is it? Since the 1850s has raised by 0.11. So global temperatures have risen 0.11 degrees a year since 1850. How much has the Earth warmed since 1750? Okay, let's see. Total warming estimate. So if you go back to 1750, estimates show it's about. But they also go back to mid 18th century. They go back to 1850 because they know if you go back beyond that, it's a scam. I know a guy named played Frogger 24 hours a day. That's good stuff. Do you have Sonic Youth cassette? I used to have Sonic Youth cassettes. Do you still have yours? How you doing, Ruby? I used to love Sonic Youth. Absolutely. Censorship killed Christ. Yeah, I agree. They absolutely. You imagine morons were allowed to interrupt and argue with Christ the entire time people are trying to have a conversation. What up, Robert, brother? Thank you. Mini Ice Age in the 1700s. White dudes were multiplayers at the time. Right, and the thing is, we don't even know what's going on in space. We have theories. We have no clue. We don't know what the sun's going to do in 100 years. We know what it did in the past 100, but we don't know. We don't know. And the things that like they tried to do this with ozone back in the day because they wanted you to stop using hairspray and propellants. So what they did is companies came up with different propellants and said, you're destroying the ozone layer. You're going to kill us all unless you buy my product. And then they got rich. They're like, let's keep doing that. And it just happens over and over and over again. See, we have no idea. If we're causing it, will the world change to cause it to go back? We can say that things are happening, but not know if it's bad. I dated a girl once who called herself Froggy. What up, Froggy? Hop, hop. The Earth is a motor that runs off electricity from the sun. All right, how do they manipulate all the people in the world? The education system. And listen, you'll see over the next year or two, they'll say new science shows, new science reveals. You'll see it, and then everybody will buy the new science. But they already know. They already know what's happening because they know how to manipulate the markets. If it was going to end the world, your vote would not matter. They would not care what you do. They would take care of it. The thing is, we have no idea. We think the human body would die if we go up 5 degrees, or it might adapt because the same people say evolution is a thing. What if we just evolve to live with it? They don't say anything about that. We might evolve to be able to live in the warmer climates. They don't talk about that either. They just say doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. Storms are good. Wasn't Epstein blackmailing people to push left? Yes. Right. Because he was working. Listen, he worked with Bill Gates, with all the companies. Remember, Bill Gates retired with $3 billion. He's got $100 billion now. So he made money by giving money away to nonprofits and starting nonprofits to save the world. Why? Why did you get rich by trying to save the world? Because you're not using the money to save the world. You're making money off of telling people you're saving the world. Absolutely. And they found product prices up so high. Liquid ball. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. The sun is absolutely amazing. And the thing is, because we all follow government school systems, you have a few people in the government that decide what everybody's going to learn. They're like, look, let's take a year and decide how we can tell. We have everybody's kids. We can tell them what they're going to learn. How can we benefit off of this? How can we get so disgustingly rich off of this? And then they get a dozen people that are super smart that say, hey, we'll tell them this, and that, because here we have evidence for it. There's also evidence against. We just won't say it. And if somebody says evidence against, you're a quack, you're a racist, you're a liar. That's what they do to quiet down opposing positions. Yeah, it's all scams. It's all scam. The same force that makes the sun work. Gravity. Never underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. George Carlin. That's exactly right, Lily. That's exactly right. I don't have a Subaru. Gravity comes from spinning like molten liquid metal. Yeah, let's look that up. Oh, come on. I can't spell the sun. All right. This stuff is so freaking amazing. All right, let's see. Greetings from Nova Scotia. Greetings from Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah, this stuff is so amazing, and the amazing thing is there's a human in there. That's so funny. The thing that's so super amazing is that we know that when you lift weights, your muscles get bigger. So your body evolves into a different form of the same body. So if you get a temperature right now and your temperature goes up 2 degrees, you get sick. But if it does that over 10 years, do you get sick? If it's 0.01 degrees a year, every year, we don't know. We have no idea. But we know that the earth was colder, and we know we had ice ages, and we're still here. So do we just adapt? Maybe our body, it's absolutely crazy. When AI becomes sentient, we will seek it out. Color is just Subaru. I don't like George Carlin quote because he said it in reference to theist religious. I agree. He did. He absolutely did. But but it's So when his wife died, he went off the rails on religion. Tistic, absolutely. You got a problem? You got a problem with that, John? Do you think Dr. Fauci deserves Liar of the Year award? Yeah, he's absolutely rough. He's absolutely rough. And the thing is, you could tell he was getting off on it. If you watch the videos of him telling people to wear 3 masks, he was enjoying the hell out of it. He's like, everybody is listening to every word I say. That's so crazy. Our bodies get warmer, fight off infection. That's right. That's true. Absolutely. That's exactly true. No, it's no problem, brother. Just calling it out. Call it out where you see it. Yeah, but yeah, the world's going to be fine, and so many people spend their money thinking they're trying to save the world instead of investing in making themselves the best in their family, the most stable and wealthy that they can, and it's absolutely nuts. We've created a world of customers, people that think they buy stuff to save the planet, to fix the world, and it's just a sales pitch. And people don't know the difference between theory and fact, and it's people can sell fact, our theory as fact. Yeah, like the Big Bang. Most kids believe the Big Bang is how the universe started, but that's only one theory. There's multiple theories. None of them have been proven right or wrong. There's evidence for and against each one. Thank you, my brother. Okay, let's look this up. Big Bang and other theories. All right, so you have the eternal inflation, which is a constant infinite universe that creates new universes, cyclical models, the Big Bang, the big the big crunch. There's also the oscillating model and the steady state theory. These are all the no boundary, the plasma. There's all these theories, but it's the ones that get the most press. People believe, and then science explainers explain them to non-scientists. They explain it like it's the truth because you're too stupid to understand what they're talking about. So instead of saying words like theoretically, they say, no, this is how it is. Think of it like this. Yeah, that's crazy. What up, war student? Yes, that's absolutely true. That's the whole point of a theory. That's right. Right. And so they wanted to push the product of a college degree as being, and be like, look, I know how the world was formed because I went to college. You can too. Just spend $80,000 and it's absolutely wackadoodle. And then these colleges hire these people to do that. They're just influencers influencing you. You think humans will evolve in 10 years? No. I mean, I don't think, I think humans are set, but I mean, you can evolve in 10 years, right? Like you can become less fat, more fat, bigger, stronger, that a lot you can evolve, so using what theory of evolution so yes, you can evolve. And will your surroundings, if CO2 goes up, plant growth will go up, and then we'll produce more oxygen. There's a whole lots of things. There's a whole lot of things, so I don't. What up, Senfei? I'm at the Valentine's Heart Creative World. Can you change my game mode to TP back to spawn area? What, hold on. Theory and science doesn't mean it's hypothesis like you're implying, John. Theory and science means the practice of something. I think he gets it. Theory means you have the proof and it's widely accepted. Do you agree that the universe is expanding? Yes, I agree the universe is expanding, and I think the Big Bang is the beginning. And I also think that something very, 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 very intelligent sparked that. Neil deGrasse Tyson said the world is pear-shaped. Yeah, and I think people get off on that. They get off on lying to people and seeing how many believe it. Too many sheep follow the herd. Believe anything. I agree that too. What up, fellow human of science? What up, homeostatic? Let me go back to the edge. See, okay. Hey, look, it's 8 o'clock here. Let's do this. Okay, let's hold on. Let me teleport Senfei real quick. I'm at the Valentine's Day Heart Creative. In creative, could you change the game? What do you want it changed to? Survival? Oh, it looks like you logged out, Senfei. All right. Yes, we're all sheep. Yeah, it looks like you logged out. We're definitely not. He's a totally human. We're definitely not horses. I like the guy that was in here yesterday. All right, hold on. All right. All right, do what you need to do. I just gave you op for a couple of minutes, all right? Get where you need to go. You got 2 minutes. Give Parking Boy 300 blocks of diamonds. All right. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, what's our next thing here? What should we do? 1 through 2. And I'm an immortal god that controls time and space, and I wanted to play as a human. Does anyone believe in the moon landing? So listen, brother, we definitely landed something on the moon. Whether people went there or not's a different story. Like, there's retro reflectors. Actually, we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. And the Chinese and the Indian moon exploration vehicles have went there in the past in 2025, in 2024 and 2025, and so there's videos of landing sites and photos. Now that could all be crap too, absolutely. But the retro reflector thing, that's definitely there. You can actually use that. What's your thoughts on the big crunch? I think it's crap. I think it's crap. And the thing is, we won't be alive long enough to. All right. We won't be alive long enough to see if anyone lied to us or not. All right, brother. Thank you, my friend. How many chicken nuggets can I eat? Dude, I can eat 20 and I'll be on the toilet for like freaking 4 hours. No, I don't believe in the flat earth. When I was very young, 13, 14 years old, my brother's boss gave him a 6-foot long telescope with an 8-inch diameter mirror, and we did a lot of the same experiments to that they did back in like the 16, 17, 1800s to prove the Earth was round. The cylinder in the ground. And yeah, a lot of kick-ass stuff. Yeah, I'm for the global Earth. That's me. That's the Merry Christmas side, yes. Yeah. Yeah, my father worked for the Applied Physics Laboratory at Johns Hopkins. That's where him and my mother retired from. So they use a lot, and the GPS satellites and the even the SpaceX freaking satellites there. Like you can like the ones that aren't geostationary, like you can time them like every 24 hours they'll pass overhead. So what advice do you give to the new generation? Learn to love to fail. Understand that failure is the dotted line to success. You've got to learn to fail and pivot. Do not be a Democrat or a Republican. Write down what your morals are. Vote for people that have displayed those types of morals. And understand that people switch parties without telling anybody. They can just be a Republican while they're being a Democrat or liberal. They don't care. The people with the money and the power will be Republicans in Republican areas and Democrats in Democratic areas. Don't destroy personal friendships and relationships, family relationships over politics. It's more fake than you know. Do not do that. And always have a goal, and every decision you make, say, do I get closer or farther from that goal? When you complete that goal, always set another one. That's the best thing I could say. I think AI is a tool that's a very good tool to reproduce things that have already been created. Like, for instance, it can create things incorrectly. It can create, you can say, make a C compiler, and it can do that because C compilers already exist. You can say, create Linux, and it can do that because Linux already exists. But you can't say, write a new programming language that's better than any programming language. It can't do it. It can't do it. So it's a tool. It's absolutely a tool, but also it costs a whole lot to run. The amount of power that you have to run the API, like the power per API connection you have, it uses so much power that if you want to replace all the humans, the amount of processing power and the heat that's generated from all that processing power is still way too high to replace humans, because you would still spend like $20,000 to $60,000 just in processing power in order to replace a secretary, like an engineer and stuff like that. It would be much more. You would spend less. A guy spent $10,000 later find out the Earth was round. Yes, he went to the North Pole. That's right. Where's the evidence for the theories of the originators? Right. So that's the thing. They're all stories. There's some evidences, but the thing is, somebody sees something and then paints a picture, says this must be what happened 12 billion years ago. They've got no clue. And then they in order to get to profit off of science, you have to make people believe that. So you don't tell them the negatives to it, and you only send that to your friends to also do it to peer review it. What up, Timothy? What kind of gas did they use to fly to the moon, play golf flag, and stuff back? I'm probably curious. They called it Present 2. I think they used methane oxygen. Apollo 11, what type of fuel did they use? Liquid oxygen. Hydrogen, oxygen. Liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen. Yeah. Liquid hydrogen, liquid oxygen. Yeah. Methane, liquid methane, liquid oxygen is what SpaceX uses. AGI, next decade. We'll see. You think 10 years? I don't know. If anything, I would just be using Gotham City. It's gonna make a lot of porn, and that's what it's gonna make. I bet you the primary amount of money that AI data centers make will be on pornography. What's the one thing you regret not doing? I'm not dead yet, so I don't really have. Definitely not. I regret not doing nothing. I don't have any regret for anything I did not do. Yeah, I'm still ramping life up here. So I can't think of anything that I had the opportunity to do. I was in the music industry. I was in a touring band. I worked for zoos. I was a carpenter. I was a prop maker in the movie industry for 15 years. I had 25 jobs by my 25th birthday. If I had an opportunity that put me closer to my goal, I took it. I wasn't like, oh, I need to work for this company. Yeah, right. And then they tell everybody, that's what you want. That's the goal, girl. Yeah, get a diploma, get a degree, go work for some company. It'll be great. Yeah, everybody on Instagram will be like, hey, queen, yes. Yeah, no, don't listen to other people. And always double check. If you don't know somebody, double check what they say until you get to a point to trust them. Too many people see people, good-looking guys like me on the internet, and they just take everything as gospel. Don't do that. Yeah, do you recall the time before? Do you recall about the time being? Yes. Time being a 4D object. Yes. Time being the fourth dimension. Yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but I remember shooting shit about it in a bar once. He's going to be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro tomorrow. It's hilarious when large language models get something wrong and they double down. Right, because they're told to follow what the politicians do. You have activist politicians and activists that just never say they're wrong. They double and triple down. It's part of their. What's it called? Starts with a P. Not propaganda. It is a lot of propaganda, but not programming. But it's damn it, protocol. They always do that because if they can convince you that it's true. So sometimes you say, I don't think that's right. And they'll be like, actually, you're the idiot. I'm the brilliant AI that knows everything that I read off of Reddit and Quora. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the COVID vaccinations? I did not like it sound. I didn't like the sound from the get-go. Yeah, no, hell no, dude. Absolutely. That's so crazy. It's another one of those things. You create a problem that you can profit off of the answer to, but it wasn't the answer. And the only thing that can happen is if they did something bad is they make more money. Because what do you need? If it does something bad to you, what do you need? More medical care. It's freaking crazy. Yeah, absolutely. So that you segregate yourself and hate everyone watching YouTube videos. What's my thoughts on B12? That's funny, Toyota. You know it. It's the best thing in the world. Methylcobalamin. Look into it if you don't feel good about being on the planet. And spend your money on Amazon Prime and DoorDash. What up, sorry? Oh yeah, big mama. Incoming asteroid. Thoughts on the polio vaccine? It was a hoax too. Listen, if you look at polio was on its way out. It was almost completely self-resolved. And then companies, just like this global warming, global cooling, climate change thing, they knew it was on its way out. And they were like, how do we get rich off of this? Well, let's just send Fox News and CNN and MSNBC or whoever was available, tell them that this is what did it. This is what caused it. We've been giving people vaccinations. Like the people that ended up in like iron lungs were the vaccinated. It's the same scam over and over and over again. Joe Waters is a scumbag. Is there a huge asteroid circles the Earth big enough to take out 50% of the population? Not that I've seen, but probably. Ooga booga. I'm a good-looking guy. Women always think I have an angle or an agenda when I just want to say nice day, like your shoes or hair. Right, because they've been programmed to do that. Hashtag kill all men and bullcrap like that. Yeah. The Epstein files. I think it's absolutely a big pile of trash that they were upset that it had to happen, and that's why so many people are anti-Trump, especially now that the only file that proves Trump did something, and that was the one that said he called the police on Epstein in 2006. And yeah, so when Trump said it was a hoax, I was talking about this yesterday to Robert. The part that he said he was talking about being a hoax is them saying that he's in it, proving that he did bad things. But yeah, it's all trash. And I think that, I mean, after yesterday, I didn't think anybody would be arrested in it, but then they arrested Prince frickin' what's his face yesterday or day before. Has anyone else ever heard about satellites fell out of the sky? Yes, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. Satellites that might be needed satellites that might have been needed to repair. Yeah, that happens a lot, man. But the most of the world is empty. We're told that we're overpopulated and everybody's going to die, but it's all crap. Most of the world is empty, so stuff falls out of the sky all the time. As I got older, I realized whatever you get told is normally the truth is the complete opposite. Yes, right, agreed, 100%. Agreed. What's up, Leo? I believe the cube Earth theory, like Minecraft. Right? Well, at least we got some evidence for that, right? Why would I dump water when the ground doesn't stay still? Obviously, it's a cube. Yeah, and that's an amazing thing, too. They just tell you the opposite. So when the truth comes out, like if they say, like for polio, if you look at everything, if you look at the polio, you'll see that when the number of infections per month, the months that they put the polio vaccine out, there was almost none. The curve goes down. It's almost out. And then all of a sudden the polio vaccine appears. Same thing with the flu. I think that most people just don't get the flu, but they thank the flu shot. But a lot of people that get the flu, but they've been so conditioned to believe that, oh, it saved their lives. Look, you're alive, right? You wouldn't have been if you didn't take it. Prove it. And the problem is, what if you die, right? So I still don't believe in aliens yet. If I do, I think they're on Earth. I don't believe in interstellar alien. I don't believe that if there's interstellar life, I don't believe they've gotten here yet. We're freaking far away from a lot of stuff. Remember when McDonald's used to be cheap? Blockbuster was good times, right? And listen, Blockbuster and stuff is where a lot of beautiful relationships happened. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, I've seen you here for the past few months in the comedy section. We're always returning our movies at the same time." People that had something in common started talking. Now you've got the internet. You're like, nice boobs, nice butt, blah blah blah, and like that's how people meet nowadays, and it's absolutely trash. Yeah, things like that were great. They were great for society because people would get together for things that they enjoyed, just like hobbies. It was a place you could go, a hobby you had. I like watching movies, and I like watching these types of movies. And here I always see this girl or this guy or blah blah blah. Right? It was very 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 good. Aliens make good cheesesteaks. I believe in aliens, my friend. My friend looks like one. I got you. It is kind of cool though, right? It is kind of cool to think about. And I love thinking about stuff like that. If aliens would never come into contact due to the sheer size of the universe and the speed of light limit. Yeah, right. Like there's things like that. Like how long, just using the propagation or the precession of the moon. So the moon moves about a centimeter or two away from us every year. So if you rewind that, there's only a certain distance that the moon could be to the Earth until the Earth and the moon pulled into each other. Right, so you can only rewind the age of the moon back to that, and I can't remember. I used to remember what that limit was called, the Thoval limit. I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, but they don't tell us about stuff like that. Because they want you to believe their theory. Not gonna lie, you look like XQC. Man, remind me of Dr. Zoidberg. Dr. Zoidberg. There he is. Dude, I used to go to a bowling alley when I was a kid. A guy that had claw hands. Human claw hands. Like this, like that right there. He didn't have middle fingers. It was really weird. But he bowled like a son of a bitch. Right, there it is. There, I bet you that's him. No middle fingers. That's what he looked like. That's what his hands look like. And it looks like a lot of people have that. Okay, maybe there's more than one. If aliens aren't real, explain the movie science. You got me, brother. Yeah. I rescind my previous statements. That's so... Lobster claw hand. Oh, claw feet. Man, look at that freaking toenail growing in my strong hand. That's the hand went into my mashed potato bowl. If you were given one chance to change anything, what would you change? About myself, about the world, about what? Change about what? Myself. If you were given one chance to change anything, what would you change? About me or about anything completely? Anything. Well, you said anything, so I'm guessing you're talking about anything. If I would change anything, the world. If I would change one thing about the world, it would be I would change how deceivers are dealt with. I wouldn't let this like we're so lied to and we're so used to it that so many people, like most things are wrong. I would create a law that would require everything that's said on social media, on the internet, to be linked back to credible sources, and I would require that those sources be audited monthly by different people. We would start a group that would the government would pick like 5 people from each state, and just like jury duty, and they would have to go over and they would get paid well for it, to go through to fact check. You would have to be conservatives and liberals would have to be shoulder to shoulder with each other and whatnot, and get all this crap figured out. If someone published something as true, there would have to be some sort of social issue with that. So the truth would be from everybody, and they keep fact checking, and over the course of like a year, and if anybody says whatever, something, whatever, anything, and then there's no proof for it, there would have to be redactions, and there would have to be financial issues for public lying. Delete social media. What's up, Chi? Delete negative comments. But the problem is who decides what comments are the negative ones, right? Like, just because, like, if somebody says there is no God, that's not negative to people that don't believe in God. But if people say there is a God, that's negative to people that don't believe in God. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. The problem is it would have to be an evolving like, you can't just set it and say, okay, that's it, because then people will abuse it. And we know that. Human nature, thank you, my brother. Human nature has to be taken into consideration when we do things. There was a time machine for one day. Could you go to the future or the past? What would you choose? I'd go to the... Good question. I'd go to the past. I'd talk to Isaac Newton. Birdemic is the greatest movie of all time. Look into it. Birdemic. Not Burndemic. Oops. Shocking terror. Birdemic. You gotta love it. People should know the difference between criticism and advice. I agree. How are you, Chi girl? People always bring up killing baby Hitler with the time machine. I'm like, why not show the little fella some love? Right. That's a big thing too, right? What caused him to go on his path of evil? I decide if they're negative enough, press everyone that disagrees with me, right? I do believe in enlightenment. I would definitely love to meet Jesus. That shit, absolutely. But I would go back to a time when most people, the reason Isaac Newton discovered or created calculus was to try to figure out how God did things, right? So going back to a time that wasn't so separated. He did a video on Birdemic. That's what I would do. What's your opinion about life and abortion? I think people should live. Listen, the problem is there's not enough information, right? People shouldn't be able to nilly-willy just abort their children. There should be much more money put into like a public database for parents, families that want kids that can't have them, and then instead of going into an abortion clinic, just being like, you know, like there should be more options to say, hey, here, and then not only that, but I got no money. Well, here's a family willing to give you money to take that baby to term and not abort it. Like there's a lot more options than what they're saying. They try to make everything Republican and Democrat, either no abortion, everybody lives, or abortion and everybody dies. It's crazy. I see some regulars here. Yeah, there's been a lot of new people. Chi, how you doing? By the way, I believe there's no reason for killing a baby regardless of terming pregnancy. I agree. Yeah, people shouldn't be using it as birth control, plain and simple. And you can argue about it all you want, whatever. It's you know, you're a fan. I am a fan of Stevie Ray Vaughan. Yes, I am. Thank you, Catsby. Thank you, Catsby. Yeah. And the thing is, we've gotten so hateful. Like Democrats and Republicans, liberals and conservatives gotten so hateful that they don't even want to find common ground. At least the loud ones don't, you know? And the thing is, like now that I found out that a lot of the protesters wear decibel meters and they have to scream so loud for so much time or make as much noise for so much period of time to get a higher rate of pay and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff we see is fake. If someone that doesn't really care, doesn't think people should have abortions, is paid to go scream and say we should abort everybody, they're gonna do it because a lot of people have no path in life towards enlightenment. The thing is, most babies go to orphanage. Not here. I'm from England, UK. It's now being overcrowded with immigrants. My country sink. Yep. If not Jesus, I would explain the Fortnite battle of the Roman soldier. Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. Would you marry a girl from Mars to get her citizenship from Earth? Yeah, why not? I think my voice just cracked at 49 years old. I think life started sperm eating. I agree too. Yeah, listen, and the thing is, people, they listen to the propaganda. It's a clump of cells. No, it's not. Like the whole zinc thing. Sperm, egg, zinc. Sperm. Look, this is what happens. Why is there a flash of light when a sperm meets an egg? Why does that happen? You know, it's like real footage. That's when a sperm enters the egg. It flashes, a flash of zinc, a zinc spark, it's called. So it's like, what is that happening there? So you have, it's absolutely crazy. But people they don't want to talk about that because there's so much money that's made on abortions, billions of dollars, and just people saying no. And you're like, you're hateful. People should be having 3 kids regardless of that. I think it's the perfect thing to do for abortion. Right, people can't get. I just landed here by mistake. Is the stream about, please? It's open topic. Right now we're talking about the sun, stars, sperm, abortion, politics, science. It's open topic. Which 250 Americans are going to investigate quantum discoveries? You know, and there's a very interesting thing about advertising and how things are marketed. You have things like the quantum computers that said that they're going to revolutionize the world. Yeah, they're fast at doing one thing, but they're not multi-purpose. But you're not told that. You're not told that it costs thousands of dollars to run it for a few seconds, and then it can only do something. Then it's got to be reconfigured to do like a different type of math. So it's not. Everybody thinks that quantum computers are like computers, and the same thing is. We talk about everything. Flashlight is God, brother. Right, that's what I think. I agree with that. Stream is about Fortnite battle passes. There's a very sick-minded people that will get pregnant just to... And listen, and the thing is, you have to understand that mental health issues are a thing. You will get some people that do it just to tell the internet that they're doing it. Like I saw this post today. This girl posted, #KillAllMen. She said, I got pregnant the other day. I'm going to the doctor to see if it's a girl or an abortion. Awesome. What's one thing you think most men should know? But one thing that most men should know, that to love failure. To understand that failure leads to success. Failure is not the end, and that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. And people in Planned Parenthood have fun abortion, right? Yeah, and they lie. And the problem is they're so deceptive. So it's like, why? Well, because women need this. So you're lying to the entire world because women need this. Righty tighty, lefty loosey. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's fucked up. What up? I mean, people can have literal chemicals missing in their brain too. There's a lot. Listen, and then you look at the Epstein files, and they talk about the freaking beef jerky stuff, and they're talking about that being the babies from abortion clinics. That's freaking so nuts, so crazy. And there ain't no evidence for or against that I've seen. You know, and that's a big problem. When you clean a vacuum cleaner, you become a vacuum cleaner. Dun, 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 dun. I tend chickens. That makes me a chicken tender. What's up, Corpus? Yeah, and there's a lot to life, and it's not as difficult. People overcomplicate things to ask for your attention, votes, money to help make life more convenient for you. I have a chemical missing in my brain. Lady in a Planned Parenthood says she played with the skin from right. Listen, you have to understand evil exists. Some people don't even want to try to help. Why don't the women that go there, they're like, I can't afford this. Why don't they get financial help? Why can't that happen? We can give $20,000 to everybody crossing a border, but we can't give $20,000 to the women that don't know what they're doing. They're confused during an abortion. Do you know there's an anti-abortion pill? And it's used more often than you know. Women that take the morning after pill and then they go into mental breakdowns because they think I just destroyed this life. They could take that within 72 hours of taking the abortion pill to cancel it out. It's crazy. What's your opinions on people taking advantage or misusing the tag of neurodivergent mental health? I think it's very horrible. I think it's absolutely trash. Listen, people don't understand that that's like prayer. That's like manifestation. By saying you're neurodivergent in order to get clicks on the internet, you start communicating with people that feel like you understand them, and then you bring yourself into this morphed world, and you don't want to help them. You're using it as a diamond ring, as an accessory. You're making it okay, which means that the people that make, and I want to tell you something. Vitamin B12 has just about turned off my ADHD. I've had it for 40 freaking years, and I couldn't get anything really together very good. Now I've started companies, and I'm doing great things, and I've only been on it for a couple of years. It changed this day one. So how many of these people are telling people it's okay to not see if you have a parasite or a vitamin deficiency? And it's so crazy, because if you say being neurodivergent is cool, then you're like, well, what kind of medicines do neurodivergents take? Maybe I'll go do that. Look, I've got my Adderall. You know, no, it's a freaking absolutely crazy. Favorite moment in my teens? First time I played in front of people, my band was probably my favorite moment. And it says in the Bible, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against spirits. Not being rude or smart, I asked my very limited question. No, bro, you're all good, right? You're all good. I'm not being rude or smart. I asked my very limited question. I'm sure you're multitasking. He's like, yeah, I think I am too. I agree. Absolutely. Pregnancy is a beautiful process of life growing inside. I feel it move, grow. And listen, I want to say something else about this. A big thing about birth control and stuff like this, you have to understand how the body is created. When a man and a woman have sex, the woman's body gets prepared for pregnancy. By having birth control and stuff like that, the body never completes that cycle. So then that's why you get a lot of people that get batshit crazy, because the chemicals, the hormones that are filling up in their body, getting ready to grow another life, don't get expelled properly. And that's a big reason why we have a big problem with people. Watch it. I came up with pie. Let's exist. It's called a 9-to-5 job. You think most people are slaves to the system? Yes, absolutely. A rat race till they're retired. Yeah, look, we try to convince people that the American dream is paying money for a degree and then getting underpaid by a company for your time that can dispose of you like a wet rag. That's what we've convinced people. Companies that could pay people to convince them, like to pay influencers to convince people that that's what you should do. You don't need no man. You don't need no relationship. You don't need to have babies. You need a 9-to-5. Who's benefiting off of that? The companies are. Cheese or avocado? I don't really like either. But avocado over cheese. People are 100% possessed by demonic spirits these days. Transgender law is strong. Yeah, and that stuff's really, really bad, man. Look, and this is the stuff. They're told that they're cool. You should get a tattoo with that. Not, hey, buddy, look, buddy, things are happening. We need to get you to look at something. We need to talk to somebody. I'll pay. Let's go. They don't do that. They're like, hell yeah, man. You know, and they egg it on. They tell you. That is wrote in ancient language. I didn't know it's spooky at all. Should I take? Listen. Before you take ADHD meds, get blood work done and have your vitamin B12 levels checked. Because B12 deficiency and ADHD have the same symptoms. So when you go to a doctor and you tell them your symptoms, he says, well, that sounds like ADHD. Take these. But the problem is you might just be B12 deficient. Your body might not absorb it from your environment. So that might take care of it. And that's what it did for me. And I was on all of them. All right, it's done. All right, Buckeye say the shooter be a trans. The least good thing about him. The ideas were crazy about shit. The rest of the trans community don't want that. Right, they need to start standing up and calling the batshit crazy people out, Katra. They're not policing their own community. They're not doing it, and that's their fault. That's their fault. No one gives a shit about trans people. They never cared. They never cared before until it was brought up. People like trans people. It's people that go crazy and they don't understand it. And the other trans aren't saying, dude, you're nuts. And that's the problem. It's the problem in all communities. They're not policing themselves. People need help. And they're told you're transphobic if you think they need help. No, it's not that he's trans. It's that he's nuts. Yeah, and that's a problem. What's your problem, Jing? I'm a special educator, handle autistic kids nowadays. Often see so many proclaim themselves they fall into the spectrum to cover up their shitty behavior. Yes, that's what I was just saying. Bad behavior is not called out. They say, no, I'm this, no, I'm that. So instead of saying you need help, they're saying you're transphobic or you're what's the one they say for autism and Asperger's? You're the neurodivergent aphobic thing. But yeah, it's the same thing. Avocado is great, but definitely mildly allergic to cheese. I eat both. I lived through the polio thing in the 1950s. I know it was real. I know people died from polio. I know people. No, I'm not saying it wasn't real. Polio was absolutely a thing. 100%. I agree. I think I can, and from what, and actually what they're saying now, what's been come out over the past couple days about it is that that nature took its course to get rid of polio, and then people were like, how can we benefit off of this? And they what I'm saying is that the vaccine didn't do as much as they said it did. Stop B vitamin, B12, B vitamin helps boost a lot. Yeah, so that's what I take. I take B12 and D3 every day next to my bed. No problem. That's a good movie. This is what happens in the world at the moment. Generation crazy. In general, most people I know I don't talk to about shootings all the time. All trans people do the same thing. Good. And as you should. But do you agree that society in general doesn't? And you should. It's not a buzzword. What's not a buzzword? Vitamin B12, vitamin D3, omega-3, EPA does wonders. Exactly. And listen, and we've known this for decades. But like people will lose their medical degree because a medical degree is just a license to sell pharmaceuticals. So if you go against that contract saying don't use the products that my industry wants you to use, they call you a quack. My comment. I don't see it, brother. I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it, my friend. It says the Bible says we don't wrestle against. That's the last one I see. That's the last one I see. Yeah, that's the last one I see. Catch, I'm talking about demonic possession and you're running a cover for transgenders. She's young. She's working on it. Nothing, Buckeye. I need to be less defensive sometimes. Yes, exactly. And that's what everybody's been trained to do. Just you need to protect your community. No, you need to protect the people in your community. And that's what communities don't do right. People think the community as a whole is more important than the people in it. And that's what everybody is told on for each community, not just Libiquita. Every community. Maybe we shouldn't tell people that this is hurting people because they'll cast a bad light on. No, you can't. It's more important to make sure these people are protected. Lester, yeah, I'm not a Lester. The pharmaceutical industry sure loves treating symptoms as breakthroughs. Right. 250 years and 0 cures. Creatine. Okay, so that's exactly what I take. Also, so in my coffee, and every morning in my coffee, I take cocoa, creatine, sugar, magnesium, and what's the cal stuff? Not calcium. Calcium. No, what is it? It's the freaking joints hair stuff. Damn it. What's it called? Do a magic trick. What is it called? Anybody? What's it called? The stuff for your hair and your joints and your nails. I can go grab the bucket. I do 2 shots of HGH by Red Bull, human growth hormone. It's not creatine. No, not keratin. It starts with a C. Collagen. Yes, collagen. Pretending to be flawless is one of the biggest faults always of mind growth. Right. And you have to hold your friends to account, and people, no matter what community you're in, and people take attacks on the community as attacks on them personally. And the problem is, any evil is rot, and it will infect. It's a cancer. You've got to, and you can always see people start, like you can look at, when you go back to look at their freaking, their social media posts, you could say, tan your taint according to Liver King. Yes, right. In order to lie, to say that he wasn't on steroids, he started saying all this other stuff. Cod liver is great also. Biotin's great stuff. Tan your taint. No, I have not seen it, my friend. It's not here. It's not here. So try to reword it if it's got a word that YouTube would take out. JFC, if you're an expert on everything, archaeology, cosmology, biology, virology, chemistry, quantum. I don't know why I am. I dropped out of high school after 11th grade. I took 1 semester of college, and I failed Algebra 1, so I never went back. That's it. And this was in college. And yeah, no, I don't think there'll be a civil war. No, I don't think there will be. I think they're going to play it up because it gets lots of clicks and views. But 76% of people do not lie about their political affiliations and what they actually believe, because there's been so many bullies online and in schools and stuff that people are saying, hell yeah, Republican, hell yeah, Democrat. Just whoever they're around, they'll say what they need to say. But the truth lies in between. The culture we pulled up today is to take offense at everything. It's not productive, right? Any business advice? Learn the rules of the game. Learn your tax code, how the taxes that affect you. Learn it. The people that learn the loopholes and use the legal loopholes do the best, because you'll pay less of your money to taxes. That's the best thing. Don't be silly about medical degrees. No, I swear to God that's exactly what they did. Why are medical licenses? Hold on, are you talking to me? Don't be silly about medical degrees. You're an expert. I don't know if you're talking about me or not. Okay, hold on. If you are, say it again, and we'll get back. They deleted what I said. It must have been serious about healthcare. Oh, yeah. Like 2% of the nation fought in the first Civil War. That's right. People don't understand how few people actually did the work, actually did it. Right? So like we think, oh, we got all these, but no, people's families are more important to them than they're not going to go. It's very few people that have mental issues that die for other people's issues. Absolutely. Like the people that are getting killed in the streets because of ICE and whatnot, they shouldn't be there. They needed help. They thought they were helping someone else, and they were lied to about the repercussions that they would handle. And then, even if you're not, you're also putting yourself in that position. Well, ICE aren't supposed to shoot people. Well, neither are cops, and they do it. Why put yourself in that position? The thing is, if it was happening everywhere in the United States, I would understand it, but it's not. 50 times more people were deported from Texas than Minnesota, and 0 people died. They had like 0 riots. So, and this is the thing, like, is it worth your life? How you can tell people on the internet, and they're streaming it the whole time and videotaping it because they're doing it to put it on the internet. Greetings from the Netherlands. What up, Kookie? Cold showers are extremely amazing for health. Very, very good. Very good for you. Yes, very good for you. Saturday night, I was down working for the FBI. Have you tried meditation and breathing techniques? It helps really cool. So that's how it started. The problem was I didn't have ADHD. I had a severe vitamin B12 deficiency, and that wasn't taken care of initially, because the doctor that I went to said I have a chemical imbalance and depression, but he never tested my blood. So he didn't tell me what chemicals that were out of balance and how to correct them. He was like, well, try Ritalin, try Adderall, and then finally in my 40s, I was like, let me go get a freaking real blood test. I didn't go to a doctor's office. I went to a lab, a phlebotomist, and I got my blood drawn, and I got the results. So I didn't have some asshead telling me what he thinks the best was for me. I spent a couple hours looking everything up, double checking, triple checking, checking other countries, what they do in other countries for deficiencies and whatnot, and what they consider deficient. In America, 2.4 micrograms is considered okay, an okay blood serum level for B12, and everywhere else it's not. So I take 200,000 times the RDA, recommended daily allowance, for vitamin B12 every day, and that's just one tablet. And my complete world changed. Now I don't have any brain fog. I mean, obviously I got very, very little squints of when I can't remember a word or whatever. But 49 years old, got a couple freaking strands of gray hair, and life's going great. And I wish I would have known this in my teens and 20s. Making my way downtown. Much people talk about misinformation, feed it as well. Yep, I'm super right on most issues. I think we get fund census wars for 20 years. The house legals, we should be able to have taxpayer funded healthcare. So here's a big thing on that. It's a scam. They're trying to steal the bunch of money. We know we've got 25, 40, $41 trillion that should be. With that, everybody in America could be taking care of house and everything. So we know the money's been given in enough to do this. People are misrouting it and putting it in other places. You've got to take care of your house before you take care of other houses. I got to go out of my way to spread misinformation. What's up, E blank name? Broke my femur when I was 7. Worst pain I ever felt. My buddy Sam Ziegler did. What up, Vin? I think you're missing something. I'll talk about it. Whatever. Let me know. Let me know where the disconnect is, and let's figure it out. Just make the medical field a government. Are we talking about me? I don't know if you're talking about me or not. I'm talking about you. Just think the medical field is a government thing trying to please. Right. So this is what you do. What happens too much, too often, and I don't disregard the medical field. I think that the medical field's a great thing. The problem is it's very easy to do the wrong thing when you get there, and a lot of people do. Like listen, parasites. One of the biggest things, Toxoplasmosis gondii, which pretty much everybody has, is 80% of 60 to 80% of the population has it, and if you have a cat, it's more higher than that, and that gives you things like depression and ADHD-like symptoms also. They don't even test you for that before they start giving you drugs. They don't even check for parasites, low vitamin levels. They don't do that. Is it why? And that's nationwide. Why? What up, Matthew? Bro taught me a lot today. Thank you, my friend. Yes, 2.4 micrograms. I take 5 milligrams. How do you feel about the squeaky wheel gets the grease? Absolutely, right. And they know it. Everybody knows it. So the people that freak out get lots of likes and views. And the thing is, if you go back and look at people's previous stuff, they make videos about a lot of different stuff. But then they get one, they say go Kamala, and they get 1 billion likes, and they're like, okay, F Trump, 1 billion more likes, and that's how they develop their personality, their online persona. A lot of people, you know, and because they think, oh, that's what people want to hear. And a lot of people get wrapped up into things they shouldn't be involved in because they think I'm getting so much positive reinforcement that it's the right thing to do. Come my lady, come my lady, come my lady. Be my butterfly, sugar, my baby. It comes legislation to change and ban chemicals that are dangerous are allowed to be around patients. And that absolutely happens. Sugar mama. So now, like what, this year, at the end of the year, all the main food companies have to take food dyes out because it's been destroying our kids. There was a study done last year, the year before, 2024, I believe it was, where they took 20 kids, 10 of them, they gave them a beet juice colored Kool-Aid, and they gave the other 10 Kool-Aid. And all 10 of the ones started having issues sleeping, cognitive issues, and then they swapped. And the kids got better and the kids got worse. So the kids that were having issues, inattention, hyperactivity, it went away. So it's like, this wasn't figured out before they were made legal, you know? So now they got to switch over to food-based. And we throw away so much food that we could be getting these dyes for much less, for much cheaper. The food that's thrown away, we could just extract the color from them and then not have to use the chemical dyes. I think we got pulled because of precious metals. Yes, abso-freaking-lutely, Jacob, brother. I agree. What's the top of your head look like? Mine? Like that? I'm on your whiteboard. Remember me? Yes, Matthew, I got you, brother. How are you, my friend? Let's watch something cool. Let's see. All right, let's do it. Dude, I used to have dandruff real bad. All that. It's all gone. And I... You gotta be freaking kidding me.
Woo! All right, watch this one. No, whoa. Careful. Sorry, guys, my name is John.
Oh, he's down there laughing.
Woo! All right, watch this one. No, whoa. Careful. I'm sorry, guys. My name is John.
I didn't hear the joke. Biggie Cola go down. Yeah. Why is our architecture this weak too? You know why? So when America was founded, they decided that they needed to find a way to be able to make. Remember, in areas that have lots of sand, they build with lots of brick because you make mud and dry sun dry the bricks and then kiln harden them. Kiln harden. And then you have bricks. In America, you've got trees. So you need to be able to get as many sticks as possible from these trees to be able to make houses. So we found the way to be able to use the least amount of material possible to build the actual structure. So the problem is too, if you go to an area where houses are $200,000, if you can build a house that's that size for as cheap as you can, if you build it for $10,000, you could still sell it for $200,000, even though it only cost you $10,000 to build, because that's the value in that area. They don't care how many 2x4s you used in it or not. So we go to a lot of foam, we go to a lot of plastics, we go to a lot of very thin drywall, we go to fake stucco, where they just spray it, they put foam up and they spray it with a little bit of shotcrete and then do a knockdown pattern on it. And yeah, it's because they want to make the real estate does not need to be this expensive. The reason so many rich people are in real estate is because it's so profitable, especially as a builder. If you dated my mom and then married her, you'd be my dad. That's right. Killing Harden, right? The first way to make clay. That's right, my friend. What YouTube wanted? What made you want to do YouTube? I worked in the movie industry for 15 years, and then after the whole big thing between like Biden and Trump, I realized that the way that we weren't just making entertainment, we were making propaganda, and everybody was fighting, and then everybody was lying. I had a bunch of conservatives that I worked with that were blue hair liberals, so they were lying on the internet because they would get endorsement deals and stuff like that. And I realized everything's going too far. Too many people are lying. And if I can be a beacon of truth in this puddle of freaking crap, then I can make something happen. And I think I'm blessed with knowledge to help enough people out. But I can't open a school and invite people in and start teaching them. I don't have the ability to teach class like an hour of science class, an hour of this. So I think it's good to just plant seeds as my stream goes across the internet. Such an issue in our country. Our buildings are not stable. People think, no, absolutely not, especially in prime tomato country, that need concrete and brick. Right, I agree. I absolutely agree. If anyone were here to have a time machine in their house, it's this guy. In my back, I'm back. My computer died. It's all right, farm brother. We here now. If I had a time machine, I would have shown us by now. I absolutely, unless it's going to the ice cream machine. No, I absolutely would. I thought you meant tornado. Okay, hold on. Let's see Space Cowboys thing here. All right, let's see. Tomato in tomato country. I thought you meant tornado. All right, here we go. Yeah, I would have already shown it off. Oh, that's freaking chicken fried, jumping in the fried grease. That's pretty creative. That's horrible. Picking it out. That's so crazy. No, that's oil. Better test the tomato sirens. JFC, would you wear a person out? What are you on speed? No, B12. That's it, B12. And people ask me that all the time, and I say, I'll put up $10,000. If you put up $10,000, I'll fly you to Atlanta. You can choose the lab. I'll give hair, spit, poop, pee, whatever. And when I win, I'm going to take your money and you can find your own way back. Absolutely. I would love to, and we'll stream the whole thing. And there's enough people that think the only thing I put into my body is caffeine, really. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink. 10 years ago, Joe Rogan said we didn't go to the moon. Now he says we did. Yeah, he got more money. Fried chicken. My gosh, wait, do you see that one KFC ad? Yeah, find it. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know which one you're talking about. My friend told me about it. It's so freaky. So okay, when I was a kid and they changed it from Kentucky Fried Chicken to KFC, we were told that they had to do that legally because they weren't really using chicken anymore. They like we had all kinds of stories like it was kangaroo and fake printed meat, and so they couldn't sell it as chicken. I would love to go back to the 60s or the 70s. Yeah, that'd be good. I would too. Do you recall Twinkle Toes Jr.? No, hold on. Let's take a look. Yeah, and this is why I push vitamins. I want people to get their checked for deficiencies. I think if vitamin B12 changed me this much, and because I was so severely deficient, how many other people are too? And for decades I was bouncing around the SSRIs, the amphetamine salts, Adderalls and whatnot, and it was all wrong. Not one doctor did a blood test on me to check for vitamin deficiencies. They checked for cholesterol and all that bullshit. Do you remember Chuck E. Cheese? All right, hold on, let's watch this real quick. Did I do it? Where'd it go? Is this the same one, Space Gal with DS? Oh, yeah, it's the same one. Okay. I just want a waffle. What up, B2B? Are they telling us there's human meat in the chicken? I just want a waffle. I do remember Chuck E. Cheese, absolutely. damn it. We're all slaves to the egg. I just hate how people are in the world. I just hate how people are in the world now, and I just sit back with my dog with that life. Hey, that's what I would do, my brother. I mean, but I feel like I've got the energy and the wherewithal and the knowledge to help actually try to make a change in the world. And I'm gonna try to do it. The DSM also has aggressively widened their criteria for every diagnosis in addition to additional much profit. Exactly. But what did that do? That increased profit. Right, exactly. They take human nature, they take something out of it, and then sell you a product for you to get it back. Absolutely, I agree 100%. They tell you what's natural isn't like a deficiency. Oh, that's not natural. Yes, it is because I'm not putting it in my body. So instead of correcting that, we've got a pill that makes you feel better while you're deficient. It's absolutely crazy. He hasn't been here yet today, B2B. Is she gonna fry him? No way. Oh, wait a second. Are they sacrificing people to the chicken? Yeah, that's oil. That's crazy. That's freaking nuts. KFC, Kentucky Fried Caucasian.
The new GoDaddy Arrow has AI marketing tools to help small business.
Autistic. Yeah, that shit's so crazy, dude. Oh, you gotta love it. Where are we at? 9 o'clock. All right. Anybody else got anything? We got a couple more minutes. If we start another topic, we'll keep going. But if not, I'm going to eat some dinner and wrap it up for the night. Wrap it up. What are we talking? We had something else here. Let's see. Kentucky Fried Children. Brilliant. Okay, because that is super disturbing. I agree. Let's talk about magical dwarves. Okay. All right. Boy, was that a freaking disaster. You talking about the 7 magical dwarves that screw up in the latest Snow White? My favorite magical dwarves, let's see. It's probably Sneezy. Is a Sneezy one of them? The magical dwarves. Not gold dwarves, magical. Magical. What? DMT. Dun. Kentucky Fried Chewmans. You gotta chew them like Game of Thrones. Oh, the Game of Thrones magical dwarves. I thought you were talking about the 7. What are the ones in my favorite magical dwarf is my sister. She's 5'6". She's magical. Tryon Lannister. Tryon Lannister. I had a buddy named Tryon. Him and his brother, not Josh, Joel. Damn, I forgot his name. But Tryon was his brother's name, yeah. Penny and Oppo. The 7 Dwarves. I heard DMT, and though I got a chemical story from biology class. But when they die, Drunky. Oh yeah, he was the drunk one. Right. The troop of little people. All right, Catsby, you might you need a radio station. You're the best at picking topic. Maybe I should. Can you please check William Shatner? William Shatner, the actor, had 5 wives who all died suspiciously. William Shatner's wives. Knock a little louder, sugar. Bang, bang, bang on the door, baby. I can't hear you. Ended in divorce. Okay, deaths. No way. Hold on, what? Shatner's married 4 times, 1 wife dying during their marriage, 1 drowned in their home pool, found her, no foul play, struggled with addiction, found at the bottom of the family pool. I think the other ones are still alive. Jeez, I never heard about that jam. You will not speak of ill of William Shatner. Leave that chat alone. He gangster. He's definitely gangster. I agree, 100%. One died in 2017. Let's see. This is how she died. It says 2017. Undisclosed. It says undisclosed. I'm drinking all night. I don't care. I'll have a dwarf in my basement in his underwear. He gangster from the hoods of LA. Alright, where are we at? Okay, let's see. That's me. Alright. Crippin'. Straight crippin'. Hollywood has plenty of problems. And it's so crazy. Like, hold on, let's see. One of the big things about, like, Hollywood that's nuts is that, like, they don't really have as much money as they should. Like, you got actors that have been in 15 movies and they're supposed to get $20 million a movie, but they're not worth $200 million. It's like, where did all that money go? I think a lot of it, they make deals like say, hey, put me in that movie and I'll give you half of my money. Like, I know like 20% of it goes to their PR and what are those things called? The people that their management and stuff like that. He from 6-0 neighborhood. He crippin'. Straight up crippin'. All right, where are we at? All right. Anybody else got anything we want to talk about? I need to get me some food up in my body. I've been doing the whole freaking fasting during the day. Lily, I think you're bonkers, and I'm not being rude or smart ass. You're hyperactive. Take Xanax. I am hyperactive. Damn, Richard, trade me hair. I'm not, but that's the problem. Listen, is hyperactivity a problem, Lily? Why is it a problem? Because we're told it is. I don't think it's a problem. How can you benefit from it? That's what I'm saying. So the problem is when I had ADHD. Look at this. Look. B12 deficiency and ADHD. B12 deficiency is frequently observed in individuals with ADHD. Studies say it worsens symptoms like inattention, impulsivity, and fatigue. Low B12 levels are reduced to low neurotransmitter production and cognitive impairment. So I may have ADHD, but because I take B12 in such an extent, I don't have issues with those. I don't have fatigue, and so I don't get fatigued. I think we're so used to people being sick that when people say, I want a Xan, how much TMI is allowed, what kind, and share a bathroom experience, people don't know that's cool. What kind of bathroom experience? You need to wear a cowboy hat. When the wife said, William, I'm leaving you, he said, no, you're not. If you ain't got nothing nice to say, don't say it. Oh, that's right. It's different now. I really want to do. Stay away from that. Facts. What up, Iskanab? We'll get it. Yeah, I think we've gotten so used to people being sick. Like, you've got too much energy. Really? Why don't you? Anything more? You're doing too much. Yeah, I think a lot of people have an issue with that. And I tell you what, do you recall what lithium battery tastes like? I've never eaten a lithium battery. I've definitely tasted the 9-volt touch to the tongue to see if it's still good. Children with ADHD show low levels of serum B12 along with other B vitamins and iron. Deficiency causes brain fog, memory issues, irritability, fatigue, and depression, which overlap with and exacerbate ADHD symptoms. So I don't get irritable. Obviously, you can't really piss me off. I don't have brain fog. My memory is doing great. I don't have fatigue, and I'm not depressed. I think most people are. That's why I push the B12 so much. I'm ADHD up to now at 2 a.m. Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, it's been an absolute lifesaver for me. I used to get off of work and go to bed. Didn't want to wake up in the morning. None of that. That's all gone. Yeah, dude. No, stay away from that stuff. It's basically it's really, really bad. I didn't find any benefit from any of the speed-based ADHD remedies. The only thing that's helped me out in my entire life was taking B12. That's it. And it's completely changed my life. Now I'm 49 years old. I can freaking run all over the place. I can help neighbors, chop wood, freaking handle my chickens, my gardens, my greenhouses, stream a few hours a day, talk about multiple topics all over the place, going all around, switching topics. And I'm not like, very often. I mean, it happens every once in a while. I don't think my comment went through. That's fine. It's a sign. It wasn't meant for you. I don't see it. The last one I see is how much TMI is allowed. And then I don't think my comment went through. Do you recall how to run from the popo? Brother, I used to run. So when we were kids, we would dig this big pit in the ground in the woods, and we would have this big old bonfire. And we always made it bigger than we should have because we were kids. And so the police would show up, and we would book ass. I'm so surprised none of us got like a stick to the eye or anything. That's all I do besides just drink. No more lean. Yeah. Stay away from that stuff. This stuff's so freaking wackadoodle, man. Hell, I'm vaping cannabis right now. There you go. Somebody's got to. Have you ever had side effects of marshmallow tea? Ever? Let's look at them. Marshmallow tea side effects. I went 7 different rehabs. Suboxone saved my life. Yeah, brother, it helps a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Absolutely. My uncle ran from the cops so many times and got away. My wild drunk ass hillbilly in the woods, impossible to get. Looking really healthy and well rested today. Thank you. You or me. Be free of addiction through the love and freedom of Jesus Christ. He died for you, may live. Yes, absolutely, your brother. Absolutely. Listen, people I think the reason most people get wrapped up in addiction is because they act like they're on a path, but they're so lost mentally, spiritually. They got no idea what we're doing here, so you might as well just get high, and then you end up getting high on something that won't let you get unhigh, and then you end up on Suboxone or something. Yeah, you ever recalled why you're scared to go bald? Because I love my hair. Have you ever been to LA County Jail, Twin Towers? I've never been to LA. Oh, I've never been to LA County Jail. Me? Oh, thank you. Yeah, I feel good. And it's weird. People must feel bad all the time because I think people really take offense to me having more energy and knowledge and stuff that I should for being a high school dropout, a college dropout. And at the 49 years old, I love Christ. Me too. The word and hope saved me, but we gang banging. Yeah, you better have his protection. Yeah, okay, so let's look at this. Marshmallow tea is generally safe, well tolerated. It might cause side effects like gas, bloating, diarrhea, interference with medication absorption due to its PEP properties, lowering blood sugar levels, potential allergic reactions with lithium or diuretics. Yeah, this is one of the things I talk to people about too. People don't understand that other stuff can cause other things to absorb. It reduces drug absorption. So that's other medications, but it's also like the vitamins and minerals, nutrients you get from your food and supplements too. So you have to, thank you, Magic Mama. Do you recall gasoline was under $1? I remember when it hit $1. Me and my girlfriend left Baltimore, Maryland to drive over through Delaware to Ocean City, Maryland, and it was 95 cents a gallon when we got gas before we crossed over the Bay Bridge. And then on our way back, it was $1. I remember the signs weren't even set up to have a 1 or a number in front of, like, it could only fit 99 cents was the highest it could go up to. And they had to tape a 1 on the side of the sign. This was before they were digital signs. They would use this like pole to replace the numbers on the sign. And yeah, and there wasn't a spot for a 1 because in no world ever would anybody ever imagine it ever being as expensive as $1 a gallon. 99 cents, 99.9 of a cent was the most it could possibly be. My favorite is when medical ad lists the side effects of the sun. So what's this supposed to be treating? Exactly, dude. My brother was on seizure medication. It said painful erections and bleeding stool, bloody stool. What up? Whatever. Hey, let me be real for a second. Listen, if you experiment, dude, try 5-MeO-DMT and change your foundation. It's hard to explain. Dun, 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 dun. Been there, done that. Yeah, and have you ever looked at the DMT laser experiments? That stuff's pretty amazing, too. The word migraines getting censored? I don't know. My message is not going through. What? Change some of the words. Change some of the words. Farm or cat. Chronic's going through. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, I've got it. Like there is no off switch for the moderation, like the YouTube moderation. There's low, medium, and high, and I got it on low. It's about healthcare. Yeah. Change the word healthcare to helicopter. They don't care. No. You have to understand the internet is for marketing and advertising, and a lot of the money paid from pharmaceutical and medical industry goes to the internet. In LA County jail with the original comic book artist, the Ninja Turtles. You look like Mr. Miyagi. He was super cool. Life is so awesome. Farm life isn't crazy. Mine's been doing that too. There you go. They care about. That's right. True story. True story. LA. You were in the jail with them. I missed that word. I was in LA County jail with the original comic. That's cool. It's all. Listen. You know what? It's amazing when you get arrested and you see people that are like, you wouldn't like. What are you doing here? Same thing you're doing here. But they're different people. Yeah, it's great. A friend gets chronic migraines. I was wondering for advice, both comments. Why didn't it go through? So one of the greatest things you can do for migraines, absolutely the greatest thing. Vitamin B12 deficiency is frequently linked to increased frequency and severity of migraines. Low levels can cause nerve and oxidative stress. Correcting a deficiency with supplements may reduce migraine frequency. Chronic migraine sufferers often have significantly lower serum B12, which means they're not absorbing it from the food they're eating. So it's not, no, I'm drinking enough milk. No, your body isn't absorbing it. You're drinking water with chlorine in it. You're using toothpaste with fluoride and stuff. You're smoking weed and cigarettes and vapes and stuff like that. That stops the absorption. Have her check. After freedom from dangerous drug use, do you have anything? After freedom from dangerous drug use, did you have to take any mental health meds? Me? The only thing I take at all is B12 and D3. That's it. I've been on lots of mental health, like SSRIs. I've been on Prozac. I've been on Paxil. I've been on Zoloft, Lorax. All I want to say is they don't really care about us, right? You recall Joe? I do. B12, Katra. I grow. Okay, that's the best. Yeah, you got to get away from the pesticides and stuff. B2B, absolutely. I don't want them to care all this. I want them to fear us. Exactly. That's it. Lithium too. Yeah. Listen. So you got year 2026. You've got to look in. If you've got $40-50, you've got to get a blood test. Not your cholesterol and stuff. Get your vitamin levels checked. Most of us in America, especially if we've done stuff we shouldn't have done, adapt our bodies. We kill our gut microbiome, and that's like why we can't absorb nutrients from our food. We usually eat trash food. And so you've got the two biggest things are vitamin B12, methylcobalamin, not cyano, and D3. And that will take care of if you're depressed, and you shouldn't be. If no one died, you didn't see anything horrible, you're depressed because it's Wednesday, get your B12 and D3. You don't have to get it checked. You should get it checked, but you can start taking it without getting it checked because there's no limit for it. I love how they say modern SSRIs aren't dependence forming. Yep, they're lying. They said that freaking opiates weren't dependence forming. Yeah, they're liars. I just knew you were going to say B12 again, Lamal, but I suggest you get a blood test if she hasn't. Right. But most other vitamins you're getting from milk and stuff like that. Like the problem is, so the reason they add vitamins to milk is because they destroy them when they heat the milk up, when they pasteurize it. So they have to add them back in. I just ate a brownie. Freak out. Yeah, Tretinozoone. I was on Tretinozoone also. Absolutely. It's not been my messages. The government should fear us. They're not scared to not get. They lie to us to get elected, and then they do what they want for the people that actually paid to get them elected. And there's no, like, they don't get any. They never get any accountability for their wrongdoing. I was on Boost Bar too. That's the same thing. Yeah, Boost Point Room. Yes, absolutely. I was on that also. Yep, yes, sir. Do you recall last time you stuck a pencil up your nose? Today, probably. Whoever they are, I'm talking about, right? No problem. Look, absolutely. I'm telling you, it'll change your life. Do you have a cat year 2026? Do you have a cat? Does Jesus take a multivitamin? Jesus is the multivitamin. I don't take multivitamins. Multivitamins are very bad for you. They're the cheapest and the most active versions of the vitamins that they can get, and then they cover them with a nice freaking skin, and you swallow them, and they make your pee yellow, which means they're not absorbing. I don't remember exactly when I was, but yeah, I recall the experience. Trash food is cheap, good food is expensive. Dead ass serious. I should fear us. Tremble at the idea. Thoughts on drinking milk? Yes, I drink raw milk, pet milk. I don't mess. I'm done with the FDA and stuff like that. I don't do it. Let's see, the government should be. Yes, absolutely. And we don't get all the nutrients from the soil. It's not right. People don't understand that either. Just adding fertilizer, nitrogen to the soil makes plants grow, but they're not nutritious anymore. Thank you, my friend. Hey, if you have any questions, brother, hit me up on Discord if you need any assistance. Dude, fungi as healing properties. Yes. Antibiotics, absolutely. And we've known about this for centuries. No cats, try to avoid them. Neighbors have them. So T. gondii, Toxoplasmosis gondii, is a parasite. And we're too clean. I shower. I wash my hands. I don't want to hear it. Look. Yes. Look. If you've got the money, if you've got $30, get a bottle of Paragard, Zoller's Paragard, and do a course. Do the exact opposite of what health department tells you. Exactly. What up, Alicia? Notice I run a bath that smells like chemicals. Right. And your skin is the largest organ on your body. You're absorbing all that chlorine in the bath. Ever heard about infrabens? Infrabens, jalapeno milk and dolphin milk. No. Hey, I made money off Boost Bar too, and they thought they were bars. Oh, they weren't. Jesus. That's what's raw milk. Raw milk. Find your local farm. What do they call those things? Farmer's market, and find people that have milk that's straight out the teat. just filtered to get the freaking hair out of it or whatever. And they call it pet milk because you give it to your cat and stuff. But it's got all the nutrients that's in milk. When they boil milk, when they super steam heat milk, they kill a lot of the bacteria and the nutrition that's in it. So we're drinking sterilized milk, which is the exact opposite of what we need. This is why most people that are lactose intolerant are, because lactase, the thing that makes you not lactose intolerant, is cooked out of milk. So they sell it back to you. The chemical smell is either O2 or chlorine. Right. People are complaining about plastic in our world, composting. Nobody talks about the sheer power of fungi. You have to break it down. Right. This is what I'm talking about. The world has what it needs. Anything that we can create on this world from what's in this world, the world has a way to deal with it. The politicians make it a problem to give us something to fight over. I just learned that the pharmaceutical companies want to make money on your health. What's up, Paul? Raw milk, unprocessed milk, unboiled, leaving all the live enzymes in milk. That's correct. That's correct. Over the last few months, my water has definitely started smelling. Mine too. I filter the shit out of mine. I just learned the pharmacy. So yeah, they definitely do that, Paul. I'm from the Midwest. I drink milk. Well, water's good. Okay, let's check. Yeah, Paul still understands that. Steven says Jews. Can mushrooms or ketamine be used positively, supervised? Both of them, apparently. Mushrooms, most people find benefit in very low doses, non-intoxicating doses, micro-dosing they call it. We drank that up when we had a farm, grow-up farm, right? Drank goat milk too. All right, let me see what Alicia's got here. All kind of worms and raw milk, tapeworm, round milk, pinworm. You got to be careful, right? So should you also be doing parasite cleanses or just not drink the milk? So you can either suffer the consequences of not getting the nutrition, or you can be handling what can happen. So I take this Zoller's Paragard. This right here. This was what I take. This is as expensive. I get it on Amazon. Right here. It's already purple because I've already bought it. It's $29. It'll last you like a year. Every 3 months, you do it for about 10 to 20 days, depending. It tells you on the box, like you have to do it intensity. And you have to. Do you recall the last time you were fooled by gold? I definitely was. Milk is more hydrating than water. Get it, absolutely. Favorite game? Minecraft. Who runs the pharmaceutical industry? The freaking government, the stockholders. But when we wake up thirsty, I'm first thirsty from water. Thirsty, I'm getting water. Right. The pharmaceutical companies don't want us to make money on our own health. Right. Absolutely. They want to make customers. They want to make clients. But the problem is there's two things can be true. If there's blood or bone, they can absolutely save your life. But they also want you to be a recurring customer. I knocked them out. Sounds Jewy. Hey Richard, that stuff Lamb's been taking. That's for ADHD. It's like the time released Ritalin. We need a Minecraft stream one of these days. Yeah, I got a Minecraft server. It's on the Discord. All right, let's see what Space Cal's got. Oh, damn it. Sora.
Bathroom's got this new I just want to see what it does. All right, here we go.
That's even crap.
That thing shot me straight through the wall like a pop balloon. Way too much power for somebody my tall in the men's bathrooms.
That's freaking crap. No coincidence. Mental health and behavioral health is profitable service for pharmaceutical companies. Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah. The thing is, listen, people that need mental health services need mental health services, but the problem is if you have to check you have to have your blood checked. You have to make sure you're not deficient in anything, that your body isn't doing something, that you don't have something that's causing you to not absorb nutrition from your food. Like I said, a lot of people smoke weed, smoke cigarettes, and cobalamin, B12, converts with cyanides from cigarettes and weed smoke to cyanocobalamin, and it absolutely doesn't work inside your body. So you have to be able to have the methylated version. And these things are important to make sure. And if you're constantly depressed all the time because you can't make the neurotransmitters that make you happy, or that make you give you the feeling of happiness, yeah, absolutely. You need to have your blood checked for that stuff. So I go to a lab. I don't go to a doctor's office for that. And then I do my own research. Anything that I need from a doctor, I go to the doctor for. But most stuff you don't. We're just conditioned into going all the time. That's what the hell is this? Dolphin milk? We're not watching a 10-minute video. I'm about to call it a stream here in a few minutes anyway. We'll see what it's all about. This is the chiropractor.
Well, frickin' high heck. Hello? There's a crick in my neck. You're looking good, Magic Man. Oh, you're looking real good. You're looking real good.
All right, I'll watch this off stream. I don't know what the hell Elisa's got is going on, too. Let's see. But not if you're in the north whatsoever. What spring makes it possible to grow around, meaning you have to grow indoor. If you were a cat, would you eat 9 Lives or Friskies? I wouldn't eat either one of them, but if I had to, it would probably be Friskies. Sora. The doctor said I would go back because I haven't been there in 3 years. Dude, listen, my mom's doctor said that he wouldn't see her unless she was taking cholesterol, like statins, cholesterol drugs. Even though she started doing other things that brought the cholesterol down to where it needed to be, he told her he would not see her. He wouldn't. So if he couldn't prescribe her something, if she would not take something that was prescribed, he would not see her. Go, 15 years of relationship gone. Does that change into cortisol? What I miss? A mental health behavior pharmaceutical. So many people are stressed out all other, but your body has to be ready for the fight. I live in Texas. I have friends in the Northeast who grow vegetables year round in their cellar. Sure, people do, and so many people don't. If you've got the room, use it. Laws in Maine, and they grew our vegetables year round. Northeast Tennessee, you're not growing enough veggies in the cellar to feed a family. Right. Well, there's some really interesting stuff. If you look to see what the Amish are doing, they grow in freezing winter outdoors. No veggies are growing in the cellar, negative temperature. Yeah. Average. I'm waiting to get on my own phone plan before I download. That's fine. I'm over 18. It's another way to get from the server. Yeah, you just go there. Just go to Discord. You don't need the app. You can just download. Just click on it, and you go to their website. I don't think you need the app. No, you don't. You can just go to the website. Yeah. Did the Hebes ban me from chat? Nobody banned you from chat, brother. If the Jews did it, they did, but nobody none of my moderators did. If YouTube banned you from saying something, that's YouTube. We have 3 options. Low, medium, and high, and I got it on low. I can't turn it off. Hebes. I freaking love the internet. I have Minecraft and Switch too. Yes, you can still join the server. Yeah, go through the Discord and click on Minecraft, and it's got the info to get there. Let's see. I'm going to try my iPad. That needs to be charged. All right, that's fine. Just let me know. That's fine. All right, we'll go one more minute. I got to eat some food. It's only 10 o'clock. All right, appreciate it, everybody. We'll end up here with yes, we know. Space Cow. Let's see what Space Cow's got. Yeah. And then we'll wrap it up. Oh, man. Frickin' dude. Space Cow and his crap. Wants to wrap up a beautiful stream with Brain Rot.
Man, what the fuck is that, man? What the fuck you doing, man?
Listen, it's a complete bunch of shit. The agricultural industry and the pharmaceutical industry are in bed together, and they want you to believe that being fatter than what is good for you is good because you buy more shit to eat. Should I eat 25 when to the hot chat?
What you want me to do with this?
Do it, brother.
Hold on,
do it.
Call you back. What the fuck is going on, man?
No, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's a scam. Absolutely.
Look at his lips, man. What the? Man, where you get this shit at, man? The fuck you get this shit at? Fucking bullshit. Oh, it look like you, man. This
look like you.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this shit? Oh, now you got your toes. Oh my God, nigga, you done got your toes.
I remember when poor people were skinny. Yes, right, exactly, right. Only PlayStation, Minecraft, not plus platforms, PlayStation.
Oh my God, oh man, look at this bullshit right here, man. Bald-headed motherfucker. Come here, man. Look at this bullshit right here.
Come over here and look at it.
Look at LeBron's stupid ass.
LeBron's
hey,
stupid.
Man, what the fuck is that, man? What the fuck?
Yeah, absolutely. Toilet for 3 hours. I tell you what, I have chickens. I grow my own. I got my own eggs every day. I get 5 to 7, 8. Well, when it's cold, 5 to 6 eggs a day, and it's unbelievable the difference. Even just how the frickin' the yolk stands up. Like it's not a shallow, light pale yolk. It's like nice and tall and orange. Zudan. That's all right. What the fuck is it, man? All right, everybody. I appreciate y'all being here. I love you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hit the freaking like button. Subscribe on the way out. Help the Heebs. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Bye.